Hello and welcome to episode 13, the lucky episode 13 of the Funfiltered podcast. We're recording this the day after the night that was the Oscars. Jess, do you want to go first or shall I?
Well, why don't we go together?
Okay, on three?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Yes! Yes! Come on, get it! Get it! Woo!
We're happy that Parasite won best picture.
Yeah.
Very happy about that.
Very happy.
Got it right for once. Fucking hell.
Got it right.
That was a shock, wasn't it?
Yes. Does this set a precedent of a?
Oh, I don't know if we can be that optimistic.
No.
Well, here's the thing.
Not.
We've talked about it setting a precedent in the sense of, Rami Malek won last year, and then they nominated Phoenix this year. So there was this idea that, okay, not greatly reviewed films are now getting in. The same awards that nominated Joker for the most Oscars also gave Parasite Best Picture.
Yes.
Best Director.
And basically nothing to Joker. It won 2 things?
Yeah.
Phoenix
like
and
the 2 things.
Score.
And Score. The 2 things he was like definitely going to win.
Yeah.
So our precedence being where it's like anything can happen at the Oscars now. We can nominate shit and reward actual genius.
That would be nice.
That would be nice, yeah.
But I don't know if we quite live in that world yet.
No, we definitely don't.
No, the thing is, like, I don't know fully how it works, but obviously the Academy members vote individually.
Yeah.
And then they just put the winner in an envelope and give it to the
Yeah.
I don't know how far in advance they know who's won or anything like that. I'm sure we could look into that. But this does feel like a kind of engineered thing, in a sense of like, nobody thought Parasite was really going to win Best Film.
No.
It was going to be 1917. That was the clear frontrunner.
Yes.
And then they do this where, like, not only original screenplay, but director and film. It feels like a thing that they've done to kind of surprise you. Like, look, we can do this.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it can't be engineered because it's not a collective... Unless they've all met and gone, let's all vote for Parasite.
Yeah.
Which could have happened.
Maybe. I mean, the reaction it got when it won Best Film indicates that Hollywood was completely on its side, you know?
Yeah, I've never seen...
Good.
In perhaps living memory, a film receive as much goodwill as Parasite has. A little bit because it's kind of it was the underdog.
Yeah.
In the sense, but I've just, in my lifetime, I don't think I've ever seen a film receive such unanimous praise, where everyone we know who's seen it ranks it as like the best film, at least of the year. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
And like, we talked before about when we were doing our top 10s of the decade, that my top 10s generally didn't cross the 2015 threshold.
Yeah.
And then Parasite came in right at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just has this thing where it's breaking through all things.
All barriers.
Yeah. All barriers.
Tearing everything down.
Yeah,
all expectations.
It's already jumped up to like 4th best for me of the decade.
Right.
Maybe 3rd.
Well, the problem is...
I should have delayed our list a little bit, if it's going to keep jumping up for you.
I would say, the problem I have is, obviously, we do like our own awards. I
'Cause
already know what's
like
won
that.
Best Picture for next year.
That is annoying.
I said to you, didn't I? I said, imagine how much time you would have on your hands if you didn't watch any films from this year knowing that Parasite's going to win.
If I just conceded that was the winner.
Exactly, yeah.
Thing is, it's like, realistically, it's going to be pretty hard to make a film this year that is better than Parasite. But I have to live in the hope. Not like, I don't expect it. Like, it would just be I would be too spoiled if there was a film better than Parasite.
Yeah.
But you gotta have that hope that we need to exist in a world where you can make a film better than Parasite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, the world of film gave us Parasite. It can have a year off, as far as I'm concerned.
It can.
No, because it had like the second half of the 2010s off.
It did.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I think I might have said this on a...
Yeah, but it gave us 3, you know.
It gave us
as
3.
great as Parasite is, 2019 gave us 1. Maybe 2 if you count like Knives Out.
I might have said this in an earlier podcast, but like Mark Kermode, when Pan's Labyrinth came out, he said, if I can just get a film like this every 10 years, I can put up with all the tat that cinema throws at me. And I sort of feel that way about Parasite.
Okay.
I can put up with years of mediocre fare, as long as every once in a blue moon you get a Parasite.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, this podcast is essentially going to be us discussing the films that were up for Oscars that we haven't already talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not all of them, of course, just the ones that we feel like...
The ones we've all seen.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
We
talked about Joker when it came out.
We did.
As we did with The Irishman.
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So they'll be... Oh God, I can't even remember the episodes. Just listen to all of our episodes before, and eventually you'll encounter them.
Have we talked about Marriage Story?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We weren't prepared for a Marriage Story discussion, were we? But, I mean, you know, we all think very highly of it. Isn't it your...
Yes.
It's your favourite?
It was my film of 2019 because I don't include Parasite for 2019.
Yeah. It's definitely top 5.
Because it came out, was it yesterday or a couple of days ago in the UK?
Friday.
And we're obviously recording right after the Oscars, so...
Yeah, Marriage Story is up there.
Let's quickly do Marriage Story is really well done. Subtle direction.
Yeah.
Great performances. Adam Driver should have won the Oscar.
Absolutely.
That's about it, really.
Oh, okay.
If we're going to really condense, rather than delve into a massive in-depth
Well, here's the thing.
about
Films like that, I usually don't... No, it's not that I don't like them. They're just not films that I favour. They're the type of things that amongst us, I would go, oh, that's a Sam film. That's not a Jordan film.
Yes.
It's a very me film.
It's a very me film
out of the three
as well,
of us, it's a very Eddie film.
Yeah. But no, I was quite taken with it. I really like the thing that I like about the directing, the thing that I kind of noticed, it happens a couple of times in the film, is when a character is sort of like, kind of like you, when they're sort of talking nominally in a conversation, but they're basically monologuing.
Right. Okay.
It's never just them sitting down and nothing's really happening. They always find a way of giving the characters something to do, whether it's the fact that they're walking into a different room to complete the task, or whether they're like, you can tell their emotional state is changing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that kind of, because whenever you see films like this, which are very like screenplay heavy, and they're essentially just kind of people in rooms, you always run the risk of going, well, couldn't this have just been a theatre piece?
Right.
What does it being a film add? What does it being a film do that you couldn't do on a stage show?
Yeah.
But I don't know, just like those little touches, and the fact that you're so close to the actor's face that you can see every like micro expression, because it's a film about two people getting a divorce.
Yeah.
Initially, they're on good terms, and they want the divorce to be amicable, but then their lawyers get involved and they basically fuck it all up.
Yeah.
So it's a very emotionally charged film.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can see every like micro expression and you can really see the change, it's great.
I feel like it's summed up with how their relationship deteriorates, like by a line by Adam Driver, which is, I've got it up to make sure I get the exact line right, which is, every morning I wake up and I wish you were dead.
Yeah, there's that one really explosive argument.
Yes.
Which is the best scene of the year, pretty much.
Yeah, probably.
Just the powerhouse of acting, writing, all the things combined. Yeah, I mean, there's this kind of idea that if a screenplay is inherently theatrical, by which we mean dialogue heavy, people in rooms talking, that to justify it being a film, it has to kind of flash it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I don't like the idea of that as it is.
Yeah.
You're right, it does kind of justify itself by what it does. But at the same time, my argument would be you can just do a play on film. Your only justification needs to be, well, people are going to see it.
Yeah.
No one's going to see Marriage Story if it's a play. People are going to see it if it's on
Yes,
Netflix.
and that is, I understand that, but it is also kind of, the only reason we're making it a film is because people watch films.
Yeah,
it's not the best reason to choose that as your...
It's not the best reason, but I mean, you know, that's not the case, clearly. Like, Noah Baumbach is a filmmaker. You know, this was intended to be a film.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I don't think it's necessarily... You know, I don't want to watch a film that is just people on a stage with a camera set up, capturing it.
Yeah.
It does need to have something. But I do think there's a case to be made for, well, at least people are going to see it in this format, you know?
Yeah.
And obviously it's Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, who are both very popular right now. And it's nice to see that they can both still act. Yeah. I say that, I mean that more in the case of Scarlett Johansson, because she's been involved in like the Marvel films and she's done stuff like Lucy for so long. It's nice to see her do.
But she was
always
doing...
like, oh yes, I see the girl that was in Lost in Translation. Yeah. I still see that actress in there.
But she was always doing kind of interesting stuff.
Okay.
In the background, like under the skin, and you know, her...
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, not Ghost in the Shell. I won't call that in the background. Someone's just burning in the foreground.
Yeah.
Is that it for marriage? We weren't planning on talking about marriage.
We weren't. No,
but
no, just compliment.
God, that's what happens when we go off the chain. Mental.
You said very quickly about Adam Driver though.
Yeah.
You've always liked him, but you've never like.
Yeah, I've never got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say this is the film that made you sort of get it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I watched it kind of on your recommendation, but also it was something that I was going to get round to anyway.
Yeah.
And then not long after we saw it, we went over to a friend's house and he showed us a bunch of Adam Driver's stuff from SNL.
Yeah.
It was like him winning a Golden Globe and just going mad with his wife, and then the one where he's playing like a parody,
oil baron.
A parody like an oil baron, where he's just like in this old age makeup and he's in like the classroom going, and you will crush your enemies.
Yes.
Yeah, and just seeing like that like range in such a short period of time, it's like, oh yeah, this guy is legit.
He's really good.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about him, kind of on a more meta level, is that, you know, I get the impression Adam Driver eschews celebrity.
Yes.
He kind of shuns all that stuff. He kind of knows it's nonsense.
Yeah.
He was the one laughing the most at the Golden Globes, it seemed.
Yeah.
He gets it's all just a bit of a farce. And he's just got that quality of, I'm sure if you really dug, you could find out about his life. But he's got that quality of sort of mystery to him. Like, I don't really know what his...
No, I mean...
what his thing is,
he could kind of be anyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
comedic.
From like any interviews I've seen of him, he seems quite down to earth and quite humble, I think.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I imagine he was that kind of person anyway. I don't know if his time in... Is it the army? He served in the army?
I think he was a Marine.
He was a Marine. I'm sure that... I don't know if that contributed to it as well, the fact that
I'm
he's
sure, yeah.
come from that.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, I'm not...
He's worldly.
Yeah, he's worldly.
Yeah.
I'm not, this... I don't have this ego that's sort of taking over everything I do.
Yeah.
I don't... Not that he's had an opportunity yet, but I imagine if he were to ever win an award, he wouldn't do like a Brad Pitt or a Joaquin Phoenix speech.
No, yeah, you just get up and thank the people that actually created the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's a...
Imagine if he didn't. He just like...
all of a sudden he became a dick.
He just has to be like, I'd like to thank myself for winning this award.
Yeah.
Fuck you all.
Yeah, it's maybe that's it then. Maybe all actors should go through boot camp.
Maybe, yeah.
And
you should be automatically drafted if you become an actor in Hollywood.
Yeah, so you have a sense that your opinion isn't really worth that much.
Yeah.
I am interested to see what he does next. Like, I know there's a film called Annette coming out like next year or something.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm interested to see what he does in terms of like, because I feel like he will win an Oscar at some point.
Oh, you will, but for the wrong film.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it'll probably be a while before we get there, I imagine. Yeah. I don't know how old he is, but it'll be later in his career, probably.
He's 36.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm just casually stalking his Wikipedia page while we talk.
Stroking his picture. Oh, Adam Driver.
He's also kind of, not to offend the guy, he's kind of weird looking. And that sort of helps in the...
Yeah, but not... it's not off-putting.
No.
He looks like... because obviously he's in Star Wars. Yeah. He looks like a bad guy.
Yeah, but he kind of can look like anything that he's playing.
Yeah.
He just has a kind of weird sort of clay-like...
I don't know if you said it in the Star Wars discussion, but it's certainly a point that you've made like after seeing the film, which is when he goes from being Kylo Ren back to being Ben Solo, you can see the difference. He feels like a different guy.
It's a palpable change.
Exactly, yeah.
He's wearing a red-coloured t-shirt. He's not in black.
Well, it's kind of like...
He's gone through the emo phase.
His brow
isn't blonde, like frosted tips. It's weird.
His brow isn't furrowed. He's got like an energy that's a bit more like kind of exasperated, and
yeah,
it's little things, but it does really feel.
Yeah, I think he like blocks the thing that sort of like solidified it for me. Is he kind of blocks an attack from one of the Knights of Ren, and he kind of goes like he's sort of like. Right, I'm relieved I did that. He seems a bit more like panicked.
Chilled out.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, maybe not panicked, but maybe just kind of like,
human.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, oh, that was a moment of peril there. I shall acknowledge that.
I shall acknowledge that moment, yeah. I guess part of being evil is being kind of indifferent and being badass.
I suppose.
It's like if you're getting attacked, like, whatever.
But I don't know, Kylo Ren never really was that, was he?
Oh, God, very quickly. We're recording this not long after Jordan and I have woken up. And just say, for whatever reason, you saying that I just brought back a dream I had last night, which I usually like talking about dreams, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I was...
Were you Kylo Ren?
No, I wasn't Kylo Ren. I was part of a Under Siege 2-esque band of terrorists taking over a bus. I was like a terrorist on a bus. Like, it was me and another guy, and we were like, oh, it's going to happen now, ready? The plan's coming into action. And then we, like, took over, we hijacked the bus. Yeah.
I can't wait for that headline.
Just thought I'd throw that out there because you reminded me of it.
Okay.
Yeah, but Adam Driver.
Yes, that was great.
He's great, and he sort of can do. But I like that that Joaquin Phoenix quality almost. Of like they're secretive about their private life.
Mm-hmm.
They look a bit odd.
Yeah.
That lends them to like a bunch of roles.
Yeah.
And I feel like Adam Driver and his wife had a child. They kept the secret for like a long time.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Didn't even know he was married.
Yeah, he's been married since 2013.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yes, he does have a child.
Okay.
Congratulations, Adam Driver.
Well done, Adam Driver.
You are actually, sorry, I'm reading the article. They have a son, and they kept his birth hidden from the press for 2 years.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Fair play.
Classy guy.
We don't even know the kid's name.
Train.
Oh no, that would ruin it.
Complete the joke. Okay. Is that it for Marriage Story?
Yeah, pretty much.
Adam Driver?
It's a recommendation from all of us.
It is, yeah. Okay, right. We've sort of been umming and ahhing about talking about Parasite for a long time. because we loved it so much, like, we're obviously going to talk about it.
Yeah.
When we were doing our top 10s, it hadn't been released in the UK yet. We get screeners. It hadn't been released in the UK yet, and we were just mindful that we didn't want to give anything away, because a big part of that film is, its plot reveals. So we didn't want to say anything. And then now that it's been released in the UK, and this will be released presumably a week after its release, we're like, oh, this would be the time to talk about it.
Yeah.
But when we sat down, go, right, what do we want to say about Parasite?
Yeah.
I realised we've sort of covered it in a way. Like, delving into the plot machinations of the second and third acts, it would be nothing other than just saying this stuff happens.
Yes, yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
It's really good.
And it's great, but I sort of have nothing to... Like, the direction, the editing, the performances, everything is flawless.
Yes.
Yes.
What else can I say, really? You know? There's been, obviously, it's about class, in South Korea and that sort. And a lot of people have talked about that. The fact of the matter is, we don't know much about that sort of stuff. We're not educated on the class system in Korea. The film, clearly, it has this visual architecture of up indicating the upper class and down indicating the lower class. And the film does that a lot, of characters walking up to kind of wealth and walking down to poverty. It's all been said. It's been done elsewhere. It's been written about a lot more, with a lot more erudition. What can we add to the conversation?
Well, it's just won the Oscar, so anyone who pays attention to film is going to now have heard of this film. If
it's going to be
before.
on a lot of people's radar now.
Yeah.
If it wasn't already, definitely. Which absolutely should be.
Yeah, it's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know, the best thing Bong Joon-ho will...
probably will ever do. Yeah, it's going to be hard to top that. But like, it's... the pressure on him going into his next feature, whatever that is, can you imagine? It's like, oh god, I kind of wish I hadn't won all these awards.
All the phone calls he's probably getting. He's probably still drunk as well.
Oh, 100%.
Who knows what he's going to agree to?
One of the first phone calls he got was Kevin Feige.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to direct an Asian-led... Because it has to be. You can't direct a film if it's not Asian.
No, yes, for some stupid reason.
Yeah, but he's directed Chris Evans before. He's already got that connection.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, shit,
That's very true.
Oh, it all goes back to Marvel. Phil has just become a black hole of Marvel.
He just suddenly gets announced as like the main director for the next phase. We're like, oh no.
They don't have any. They've only got one Asian, right? And he's already got a film coming out.
Whatever it's called.
Shang-Chi.
Not Chung-Li, that's Street Fighter.
Shang-Li or
something like that.
It's Shang-Chi, I think.
Who's the director of that? Isn't it Daniel Destin Cretton? Am I making that up?
I don't know.
Yeah, Cretton.
Destin Cretton. It's your destiny,
Marvel
Cretton.
Cinematic Universe.
We're back to this.
It happens, Sam.
Is there anything...
Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten, Destin Daniel Cretton.
Okay, there we go.
I don't think he's properly Asian.
Oh, shame on you, Feige. Shame on you.
Shame on your family.
No, he was born in Hawaii.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so he's faux Asian. He's Phasian.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else to add. The only thing that we could do is sort of, go into specific plot beats and sort of say why it's good that happens.
Yeah.
Which seems kind of reductive almost to do.
Yeah, just pointless. Yeah, I think it's just safe to assume that none of us literally have no criticism. Right?
No, not really. There was only... I alluded to something in our discussion, which was that I had a question, and that was like the only thing that would require spoilers.
Yeah.
But since then, it's been answered for me.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And all it was really was just about why the father does what he does towards the end of the film.
Yeah.
And the film doesn't tell you, but it's clear in the film why it goes in that direction.
It's been planting little seeds.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of... We're very happy that
yes,
what's happened has happened. That's kind of it, really.
Yeah,
isn't it? For Parasite.
Yeah.
Okay. Knives Out.
Yes.
More like Knives Out Standing. Because it's good.
That was the audio.
I should point out that was you slapping yourself. That wasn't you slapping me.
That was me
for once
slapping my massive head. The slap head I am.
I know it's funnier to think that was just slap me across the face, but unfortunately not.
I don't think you would have created such like a resonant.
I suppose
if it was your head.
Yeah.
Oh my life.
It'd be cushioned by your hair.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Knives Out then.
That's all right.
Yes. Ryan or Ryan Johnson? Ryan Johnson.
It's just like West Coast preppy spelling of Ryan.
What a cunt.
I know. No, I'm more than lukewarm about this film. I think it's great.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Searing coffee, burning. I don't know.
Given that the only other thing I've seen by Rian Johnson is The Last Jedi, this is miles above in my opinion.
Have you not seen Looper?
No, I haven't.
Have you not seen Breaking Bad?
Have you not seen Brick?
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, we did Fly.
You can't count that though, really.
No, but he directed 3, right? He directed Fly, Ozymandias, and
51.
51. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so he directed.
Yeah, okay, I've seen Breaking Bad. Shut the fuck up, George.
He directed the best and what people broadly consider to be the worst episode of the show. They're wrong about Fly.
They are. Which is one of the best episodes.
It is,
but I don't think you can necessarily. I'm not going to try and diminish what he did.
No,
but I don't think you can call those Rian Johnson joints.
Well,
no, it's TV. It's like that's the writer. The writer is king. The director is the.
No, I know, but they're valid
in terms
credits
of film.
Yes.
This is the only other thing I've seen other than The Last Jedi.
Okay.
And I'm not a fan of The Last Jedi.
Have you not seen The Brothers Bloom?
That's right. Okay, so
no one's seen The Brothers Bloom.
I told George to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
And he just told me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I would say it's much better in terms of...
Would you?
Oh, fucking hell. Much better in terms of film.
Also, grass is green. And the sky is blue.
Not on anonymous Star Wars planet. I don't know.
No, I think it's pretty...
The grass is blue on...
Oh, I see. Okay, you're making a Star Wars.
I'm making a Star Wars.
You're making a Star Wars.
Yes, this is a vastly superior film to Star Wars The Last Jedi.
I think this is certainly the film that he needed to make after The Last Jedi, because it's kind of the film that's sort of like, you know, oh no, Rian Johnson he does sort of know what he's doing.
Yes, it's kind of proof to me that obviously he got a lot of flack for The Last Jedi.
Yes, well, many people blame him almost entirely for the negative parts of that film.
But it's proof to me that, you know, the general film-going public / fanboys don't really pay attention to what a director actually is outside of that franchise.
Okay.
Considering, with the exception of The Brothers Bloom, which is I say I haven't seen it, but no one else has, is the point. Every other film he's made has been good.
Okay. Many people bring up the how like convoluted and sort of like nonsensical Looper is, and I feel like that's sort of, they use that to sort of say, oh, Looper isn't actually that good.
I mean, it's a time travel movie, and there's, you know, it's gonna require a certain level of convolution.
Yeah.
Who's in Looper?
Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I have seen Looper, actually.
Yeah, where he's the younger version of Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
It's a really stylish... You don't like it? Okay.
No. Oh, okay.
But I don't like... It's time travel, and time travel is iffy.
Same. It's like, I don't love it, but it's, you know, it's good. I can't say it's not good.
I mean, it has what has become kind of the time travel line in it, doesn't it? It's when Bruce Willis is talking to Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. Don't think about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's kind of become the... Yeah.
I would say Austin Powers predates that in terms of...
It does, but I feel like if you were to replace words in the dictionary with like movie clips,
right?
Maybe this isn't the best analogy, but basically, like, if like you were going to look at like the definition of, you know, the like don't think about time travel.
I won't rule that out, by the way.
Oh yeah,
the dictionary becoming just a little visual.
Yeah, that's scary.
That's a genuine possibility.
But yeah,
how do you visually depict abstract concepts? What's hope look like?
I don't know. Have any of us ever seen it?
I don't know. It depletes over time, I'll tell you that. God.
Sorry, you've just maybe given me the image of the dictionary being a children's book with just pictures.
They do exist, don't they?
Is that legitimately?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I've only ever had a proper dictionary.
Okay. A man's dictionary.
Dictionary.
Yeah. I was just fumbling over my words.
No,
basically,
I know what you're saying.
that scene has become like, you know, the clip you play when you say
I would disagree.
Forget about time travel.
I would disagree.
Why would you disagree?
Because I think that's maybe like an insular assumption. I think as far as we are concerned, that might be the case. But I think broadly speaking, the Austin Powers bit still holds up as...
Well, the Austin Powers bit is broader, isn't it? It's more just... Yeah. You use that just for a plot device or a thing that the film's don't think about it.
Okay, fair. Okay.
Whereas Looper is exclusive to time travel.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's the same sentiment, which is don't waste your time thinking about the mechanics of time travel. Just enjoy the ride. It's one of those films that when you first saw it, it was really good.
Yeah.
And then just kind of faded and fizzled over time.
Yeah.
Brick is really good.
Okay.
It's like a high school neo-noir movie.
I still haven't seen Brick.
Okay. But like really cleverly written.
Okay.
It's more in the vein of Knives Out in the sense of like an old-fashioned style, but being done kind of postmodern-y.
Oh, okay.
He's obviously a big fan of like detective fiction. Brick is more Raymond Chandler. Knives Out is more Agatha Christie.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes, the point being that he's a really decent filmmaker and a really good writer outside of being affiliated with the Disney tit.
Yes.
So Knives Out.
Yes. I will just do the boring usual thing of saying spoiler for anything we discuss if we haven't seen it.
Spoilers for
Well,
all
I feel
films
it's completely
discussed.
fair to put that in front of Knives Out as well.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
it, at the very beginning, at least, it seems to be your run-of-the-mill whodunit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which, those films are all about, like, the identity of the killer.
Well, one of the things I like about Knives Out is that it kind of is a run-of-the-mill whodunit.
In a way.
It breaks the mold in certain ways, but it's not. It is what it's kind of sending up as well. It's not derisively sniggering at like, oh, isn't this a fusty, antiquated tradition?
Yeah, it's not a parody. It's not a parody or a spoof.
No, it is postmodern, but not in a snarky sort of way.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it clearly loves what it's imitating and just is one of those films with a few modern touches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing, obviously, like with Knives Out, the person who I thought it was going to be the killer,
Right.
is the killer.
Very quickly,
Yes.
are we going to... How, like, into it are we going to
I would
go?
say don't say who the killer is.
Okay, I don't think I have any reason to say who the killer is.
Okay.
Other than, it's kind of who you expect.
Yeah.
It's who I expect, which I like because as we were going along the film and it's following the particular story that it's following, it was getting to the point where I was going, there's got to be a twist in here somewhere, there's got to be. And it just didn't get it got there, but it just didn't get there when I thought it was going to.
It was kind of a twist because the film clearly knows that you know who the killer is, and it ends up playing with that in a way, doesn't it?
Yeah, the thing another thing I really enjoyed about it is that I thought I would be in it for the thrills of the whodunit aspect.
Yes.
Trying to work it out Cluedo style.
Yeah.
But it's not really, you start to enjoy the dialogue and the humour.
Yep.
Yes.
And then just, even though, arguably the most obvious candidate is accurate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even when the main character, arguably the main character,
Yes.
is picking apart how it happened, you still kind of marvel at, oh, this is still incredibly clever. I sort of don't care that it's the obvious person because there have been so many twists and turns along the way.
I will say, obviously, I don't want to discuss like Marvel in any way, but just to pick on, but to pick on Chris Evans just for a second.
Okay. Is this his first post-Marvel film?
I feel like he did a Netflix film.
Okay.
Maybe.
Right.
But just because you see it from the trailer, right? But him just saying "fuck you" is quite fun. just like "fuck you."
Yeah, it feels like
"fuck you."
In a way, it feels like he has room to breathe again, doesn't it? It's like, oh, we've got an actor back.
Well, he's kind of playing with the all-American image of himself, isn't he?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, in Captain America, he literally is the guy that says or in the Avengers, he's like language, and then in this film, he's the guy that's saying "fuck you," and I was like, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's having fun. He's letting loose a bit.
Because without like sounding harsh, the last time I feel like he seemed like this free and fun in a film was Scott Pilgrim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
So it's nice to see him do a role which is just a bit more fun.
Well, the thing, he's always been like he's a decent actor because obviously he's a Snowpiercer as well.
Yeah.
Piercer. But it is kind of nice to see him play a prick.
Yeah. He plays a prick well.
He does play a prick well.
He does.
Well, it's because he's got that look, isn't he? You can either go like fresh college boy, like, plays football in high school, that guy, jock, or entitled, wealthy,
Yeah, exactly.
prig.
But it's not just him. It's a fantastic cast, and they're all turning in great performances.
Yeah.
I think even the ones that are sort of like off to the side,
Yeah. Who are the standouts for you?
Well, you can't not discuss Daniel Craig, can you?
I mean, I like the accent's a little bit questionable.
It is.
Just because I don't think but my problem is, I suppose, because he's Bond, in my head, he's quintessential British.
Yeah.
So to hear him doing the accent.
Do we know the genesis of that accent? Do we know why he did it?
I don't know why that particular accent, but I'm guessing it's just with the dialogue he had. It's kind of like
it's Texan, isn't it?
I don't know if it's Texan as much as it is like Alabama, Mississippi. Because it's not quite like a Texan drawl. It's more clipped. It's like Teabag from Prison Break.
A little bit.
It's that, isn't it? It's more kind of...
That's the split.
Yeah,
it's not text and it's not a draw like
no,
that.
it's kind of Scott Fitzgerald, isn't it?
Yes,
From Midnight
yes,
Paris.
my boy. Yes, that sort of thing.
Gentlemanly,
Southern gentleman. Yeah, Southern gentleman.
Loving it.
Southern gentleman. Yeah, it's that sort of thing.
Because I do wonder if, because yes, he's James Bond. Everyone looks at him and it's like, that's James Bond. So do you think no? Well, not to you maybe, but I think everyone.
Okay.
You freak who's seen literally everything ever. But
that's the thing. I was sort of familiar with him before he was James Bond.
Okay,
is the thing.
Yeah.
What was he in before James Bond?
Layer Cake was his highest profile thing, but he was the villain in Road to Perdition. He was like a jobbing British.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to own Road to Perdition, and I never watched it the entire time.
It's brilliant. It's really good. Yeah,
but Layer Cake I've seen
in Vogue. Yes.
So do you think the accent was to sort of differentiate him from Bond?
I think it's clearly a fun role, and I think there's this idea that Americans love to play cowboys because they get to do that drawl.
Yeah.
And it's an American archetype. Yeah. And English actors love to do Cockney gangsters.
Yes.
Because they're very showy roles. And I think he just thought, if I'm going to work with this colourful dialogue, I'm going to really hem it up with a kind of,
Okay. Because you could deliver that dialogue with a British accent, right?
You could, but that also sort of removes the idea that it's an American who done it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Because obviously it's sort of, its style is quite English country manner sort of thing. And those stories tend to be rich, middle, upper class dames and duchesses and that sort of thing. And the fact that it's a wealthy American family, it's a distinctly American murder mystery.
Yeah.
I think if it'd been a Brit as the Agatha Christie Miss Marple character, it would have undermined that a little bit.
Okay, that's fair enough.
I do, very quickly, sorry, I think the southernness, thinking about it now, might be to differentiate him from the RP American of the family, if you like.
Yeah, because
they're rich white Americans.
Yeah, they're all quite similar.
They're all just kind of.
So he stands out from them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the main character obviously is also not.
Yes, I like that detail.
Cuban American.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone says something different. They all say she's from different places.
I think however you pronounce it.
Ana de Armas.
I think she's Cuban American.
I'm sure it was better than what I heard.
Ana de Armas.
Yes.
She's Cuban Spanish.
Cuban Spanish, okay. You've got to do it with that. Is she Cuban Spanish or Cuban American?
No,
Cuban Spanish.
She's Cuban Spanish.
Okay.
If you say a name like that, you've got to do it with the Ana de Armas.
Yes.
Ana de Armas. That's more Italian.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, she's brilliant in it.
Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah.
Blade Runner is the only other thing I'd seen her in.
Yeah.
She's done more than that?
Same. She has done more than that, but it's the only thing I've seen her in.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see her in this after Blade Runner, where she's sort of able to...
She's in War Dogs, which I've also seen.
Oh, okay.
She's also in No Time to Die.
She is.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's where they met.
I'd guess so. And she's also... Sorry, there's a film coming out called Blonde.
She's played Marilyn Monroe.
She's played Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. Interesting choice.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
But yeah, other than that, Michael Shannon.
Yeah,
I like him. I like him.
I mean,
basically
when you get down to that lot, they're sort of secondary cast, aren't they?
Yeah,
and they're all because they're all just good actors. So it's all just like they're all very reliable performances.
Yeah, they're all kind of on the same level. If I had to pick a standout, I would pick Toni Collette out of that bunch.
Yes,
yeah, that's fair.
She does that kind of really annoying American.
Really, is it LA, California? That kind of thing?
Yeah. Like Valley Girl.
Yeah, Valley Girl, yeah.
Has her own like little company.
Yeah, like a fucking lifestyle guru.
Yeah, she's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else, I mean, Michael Shannon has a limp. Other than that, he's basically Michael Shannon.
Well, I wouldn't say because Michael. No, I wouldn't. Because Michael. If we're gonna say he's Michael Shannon in this, I take that to mean he's a grunting, menacing oak tree.
Okay. He has a moment.
He does, but for the most part, he's just like another rich son, isn't he?
Okay.
He's not like like in Nocturnal Animals where he just grunts his way through the film.
Yeah. No, it's not like
or Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
Or something.
No, you can understand him in this.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Don Johnson. Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah,
they're all good.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Curtis. Yeah. Christopher Plummer. Let's just keep
listing the cast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was sorry. I didn't realize Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in this.
He is.
He's a voice cameo apparently.
Okay.
Is he?
As Detective Hard Rock.
Well, he's been in every one of Ryan Johnson's films.
I don't know. It's on the cast list.
I think he has a cameo in Last Jedi as well as a stormtrooper.
No, that was Tom Hardy.
I think they both do.
He is in one of them.
Yeah. I think he's in every Rian Johnson film.
Okay.
So that would make sense.
Fair.
Yeah, the script is...
Yes. Well, those are the two standout. It's the performances and it's the script.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Well-deserving nomination at the Oscar.
Glad as well. It deserved more. It should have been up for Best Picture. But nice to see
I forgot it wasn't up for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Because it was suspected it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Is original the only thing it's up for? Original screenplay?
Yeah.
That's slightly disappointing.
Yeah.
Throw
it was up for a few Globes.
Throw a nom towards Daniel Craig and Ana de Armas.
Yeah, I agree.
Certainly Ana de Armas.
Ana de Armas.
Ana de Armas.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Cuban Spanish as well. They like that, don't they?
She's cute in Spanish.
Cuban Spanish.
No, she is cute in Spanish.
She is also Cuban Spanish, though.
I will run with that.
No, yeah, I'm not wrong about that.
It's sometimes difficult as a straight white man to
oh God, where are you going with this out?
To watch a performance by an attractive young woman and care, just not just in the sense of like thinking past I'd fuck her and actually being able to appreciate the performance. Do you know what I mean? Usually just attractive young women, it's like, I don't really care about the acting. You look, gay tits out loud.
Oh God.
So she was good.
That's what I was going to say. Does this mean that like her performance was so good you were able to look past her performance?
Her performance was so good that
you looked past your natural perversion.
I de-objectified her.
Wow.
She became a human again in my eyes.
It's 2020, Sam.
I know.
I'm impressed.
Not only is she an attractive young woman, she's a foreigner. So that's double the work to make her seem like a human to me.
Yeah.
So fair play to her.
There you go.
Oh God.
Maybe that's the problem.Maybe the reason so many women are being objectified is they're not good enough actresses.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. If you just be better at acting, then we'll look
not getting cast for tits and teeth.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Imagine if Hollywood didn't cast for tits and teeth.
And they say we're not woke.
Well, I mean, Scarlett Johansson is a perfect example. She's up for Marriage Story, I believe, at the Oscars. Very well-deserving nomination. Mm-hmm. Very, very good performance.
But she's got short hair, so it's easier to acknowledge the performance.
That is true.
She's up for Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit. Are you telling me that part of that is not down to the way she looks?
What do you mean?
Well, we all know what Scarlett Johansson looks like. Yes, the performances are very good, but also she has a set of tits.
She does, but like to be fair,
but then again, she wasn't up for fucking what's it called, Tokyo Ghoul or whatever it was. Not Tokyo Ghoul, Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
No, I was actually she wasn't up for Under the Skin.
Or Under the Skin.
She's not. She no.
In
to
which
be fair,
the two.
She does get nude.
Okay,
yeah. The two films for which she's been. Yeah, it is her.
Yeah.
The two films I can.
I spent enough time studying that material.
Yeah, exactly.
Good film. Good film. Good film. Deep. It's got that.
I really should not have taken a sip of tea when you said that.
No, but to be fair, the two performances for which she's been nominated don't really advertise her sex appeal much.
No, they don't.
So,
no. Yeah.
That was all ironic. We're being funny.
No, we're being sexist. It's fine.
being sexist, but it's okay because we don't mean it.
Oh God.
So
is it postmodern? Is
postmodern sexism? That's right.
Yeah, no, it's postmodernism. Is never having to say you're sorry.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fucked, and I say sorry like
20,000
times a day.
If you're offended by what we're saying, fuck Deadpool. Like we're just doing the Deadpool thing of like,
Yeah,
it's fine. Sam said we're woke. We're good.
Yeah,
we're woke. Hashtag woke.
Yeah.
Was that everything we wanted to say about this?
I'll say okay.
We haven't really talked about it, but again, I don't want to
delve into spoilers.
Give too much away.
That's the thing with Knives Out. It's a brilliant film. It's a brilliant script.
Yeah.
The performances are good.
What is so great about the script? May I ask?
Well, okay, so obviously murder mysteries and whodunits rely on very tight plotting.
Yep.
It has that. Revelations are dropped and they need to be, it expands, all that business. When everything does come together at the end, it does feel very rewarding and you kind of feel sated.
Yes.
The dialogue is really fun and really crisp.
There is a particular scene that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm. My presence is merely ornamental.
Yeah, that's the highlight line for me in terms of, okay, that is what I would use to sell the dialogue,
Yeah.
I like his line where he said, I suspect foul play.
Yeah,
it just makes me laugh.
Yeah, but like that.
Yeah.
My person
is that like there's been a murder and someone's responsible? It's that level of dialogue that is.
But there's a scene that comes to mind which gives away who the killer is, but you don't realise it's given it away until towards the end, and I really like that.
Yeah, nice little touches like that.
Because there are little moments which do, as I say, you know who it's going to be. What I like is that there are little touches which obviously nod towards that person, but then because the story is focusing on someone else, it's those little details that they've thrown in which I like.
And the film kind of flirts with meta-ness in a really satisfying way. I am not big on meta-ness, like, at all. No. I don't like it. It just well, not always. It very usually feels clever. Like, because in this, not only is it a modern murder mystery, it's already, like, you know, brimming with postmodernism. Not only is it in America, so there's like a modern, you know, contemporary America. But the guy who is killed writes books about. He writes murder mysteries. And so there's so much that could have gone kind of wrong, and I kind of, because there are things in the house, like in the garden, they have animals that are from, like, sculpted animals that are from books that he's written, and like secret windows from books that he's written.
I think it's probably one of the more iconic pieces of iconography from the film, but is that like throne almost with like the knives all around it,
which is kind of, this is kind of well, it's not really a spoiler, but that sort of is a visual representation of what the film is doing to the form. Because obviously you see this throne of knives, and at the very end, when the killer tries to murder someone else with the knife, it turns out they're just plastic. And that, in a nutshell, is kind of what the film is doing.
And that's set up by a line earlier, just like a throwaway line, you know, but that ends up coming back into play. What I like as well, I've seen it twice now.
Same.
And it holds up on rewatches.
It does.
Which is nice. It's not a one and done. It's not like, well, I know the twists now, I don't need to. No, it does, like, hold up.
I think that's because of how fun it is.
Yes. And you notice more as well, which is always a sign of great filmmaking and writing, is when you notice, like, the fact that each character says that Ana de Armas is from a different country. And there's
Brazilian
like that's something you notice on the rewatch. Also, you kind of notice, I don't know, actually, that might be a spoiler. Let's not talk about that.
There's one line, again, because like I said, it's dealing in contemporary American stuff. So they talk about immigration, you know, all that sort of stuff. The 13-year-old is kind of like an alt-right troll.
Yes.
And there's one line that comes to mind that also is like, this is why I love this film. It's when somebody screams at her as she's being chased out of the house. You had sex with my grandpa, you dirty anchor baby. That always, like, again, not endorsing what he said, but I like that kind of colourful dialogue.
Well, as I said, that there is a line in the script where it's like, they introduce him as like, that's my son, he's 16, he's literally a Nazi.
It's nice as well that they have him and then they have like an SJW girl to kind of balance it out, so it doesn't feel like the film's like attacking anyone's side.
Not at all.
Other than that, I don't really want to say too much without giving stuff away.
We can't just do another Parasite where we're like just vague about it for 50 minutes.
No. We talked about Parasite for quite a while and we discussed nothing.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, highly recommend Knives Out. It's very good. I will say, the only thing I'll say is, like, on the rewatch, the moment where the film turns, I guess, like the moment where it starts to play with the fact that you know who the killer is. I'll leave it at that. On the rewatch, you're kind of waiting for that, because to me that feels like the moment when the film properly starts to get going.
Right.
It's fine, because but it does for the first 30 minutes. It does sort of treat itself as like, oh no, this is very traditional run of the mill. We're introducing all of the characters, and you know. See,
I have the opposite opinion.
Okay.
I love it all, but the setup is my favourite part of the film.
Well, of course it would be. That is literally just people in a room talking.
Okay.
That is very you. Yeah. I'm not saying I disagree. I mean, I enjoyed watching it and rewatching it as a whole.
Yeah.
Well,
it's more, you know, more of that sort of fun back and forth bantery sort of dialogue that is there. It's always there, but is then replaced more by plot. I prefer the you know.
But when the turn happens, that's when the film starts to become more playful. So yeah, but no, it's a great film overall.
Yeah.
It's my second favorite film of the year, of 2019, I should say, not of 2020.
Ditto.
Yes,
it's also my second favorite film.
I don't know what else.
And if that isn't a shining endorsement, I don't know what else came out
last year
someone say a film.
Jojo Rabbit, more like Jojo K. Rabbit.
You're really trying with these.
Well, I've set a precedent now, haven't I? I've got to keep going with it.
Okay, so I thought I was really going to dislike Jojo Rabbit. I'm not a particular fan of Taika Waititi.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Am I the only... I'm not a major supporter, I'm a mild supporter, but am I the only pro Taika Waititi person here?
No, that's sort of the problem. Okay. I don't dislike him.
Right.
But there's something about him that I don't like.
Him or his filmmaking?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm in the same boat, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's this weird kind of elusive...
Yeah,
I can't put my finger on it.
No, I couldn't tell you what it is I don't particularly like. But Jojo Rabbit certainly didn't make me favour him. Like, I didn't particularly like him as Hitler. He's just a bit annoying.
You didn't like him in the way the film...
No.
Not in the way the film wanted you to dislike him.
No, I just found him a bit annoying. I get that he's supposed to be.
I don't... Okay, obviously you're not meant to like Hitler, but I think you are kind of meant to like, or at least find funny.
Well, that's the thing. It's that child's interpretation of Hitler.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't it? And obviously this child has been indoctrinated by Hitler. He sees Hitler favourably.
Okay.
So he's supposed to be kind of like fun and,
Yes.
Maybe... Okay. Let me try and put my finger on the Taika Waititi.
You want to put your finger on Taika Waititi, all right?
On Taika's Waititi. On the Waititi problem. I don't want to sound like the Jewish problem. Talking about Jojo Rabbit. Okay, here's my final solution to the Waititi problem.
Oh no, it's all gone wrong.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. I think what it is that he's a Nazi piece of work. No. Is that all of his films, well, a lot of his films, I can't even say it. Right, Hunt for the Wilder People and Jojo Rabbit has a streak of sentimentality going through it that it's almost cocky. And I don't know if I can put my finger on that exactly. I'm not putting my finger on the cock. But it's sort of like he's really trying to make films that in the trailer will get quotes like uplifting, inspiration. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like he's going in with that. It's a weird gripe to have, but it's like he's going in with that intention rather than letting the film become that. Other than that, his sense of humor and his comedy hits a certain level for me that it never gets past.
Okay, yeah.
They're always like, as Woody Allen has said, amusing. It's amusing.
Yeah.
Okay.
At best.
Yeah. Maybe I'm slightly biased because the best part of any Taika Waititi film is always the editing. I don't know if Tom Eagles is his go-to editor because Tom Eagles did Jojo Rabbit and obviously he's up for an Oscar as well. But yeah, they're always the best part about it.
They are. And
he's got just enough of his own quirks to sort of be considered an auteur
as well,
at this point. He does that that sort of 360 rotating shot where they kind of compress time, so there's like 3 or 4 different versions of the character doing an activity as the camera's rotating.
Yeah.
He used that in Wilder People, he used that in Jojo Rabbit, I think.
Did he write the script?
I don't know.
He did?
Yeah.
He wrote the script.
He's a proper, he writes, directs.
Yeah, I know he usually does. I was trying to remember for this.
I'm not sure if he did it alone, but he did definitely write it.
Because I do have some issues with the script.
Go on.
Very quickly, because it just ties into my problem with him. That idea of wanting the film to be considered lovely coming of age, sweethearted and funny, that sort of thing. Casting himself as Hitler, I don't know if he's given any interviews about why he probably has, but why he did it himself. I'm sure part of the logic... He's anti-Semitic. I'm sure part of the logic would be, I don't want to ask another actor to do it.
That's what I took from it.
But part of me also thinks it's the ego of I want to be the guy that plays the funny Hitler that gets the supporting actor nomination at the Academy Awards.
Okay.
It seems like it's the kind of role that if done right, they'd go, that's clearly a supporting actor.
Yeah.
The imaginary friend who gets to be colourful and I just don't like that.
No.
It feels like he's not humble. And also I've seen interviews with him. I'm not saying he comes across as an utter prick.
He comes across as an utter
but he's kind of stop trying to be funny. I
think that's the thing that I like least about him. It does feel like he's trying too hard. Yeah.
And I think I just resent his popularity. It's it's kind of inexplicable to me.
Okay.
Why? It is, yeah, because he made a kind of funny Marvel film.
Yeah.
And now he's like the fair-haired child. I just don't get it.
I mean, I do like that Thor film.
I mean, it's okay, but only by comparison, only by what's around it.
It's in the pantheon of Marvel,
yeah.
It stands out in that pantheon.
Yeah. But when I say I like it, it's in comparison to the other Thor films, which had no competition.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And also, it sort of birthed the kind of renaissance of Chris Hemsworth in that universe.
Oh, I don't know, but
I don't care anymore.
He's certainly not like the other one, you know.
Yeah. No,
it's not like it's Iron Man and it's Captain America and then it's Thor.
Though
like
obviously
it's better than that now.
Ragnarok was a big, went a big way in doing that. That doesn't make any sense. Even though it did a lot for his comedic kind of change.
Yeah.
I still kind of think Joss Whedon is the person responsible for that because he started doing that in the Avengers.
Oh,
not to that extent.
No,
but he definitely started playing up like how the Shakespeareanness of it was kind of ridiculous. And no, I'm not saying that it's like we thank him for Thor in Endgame.
Yeah,
but that's where it had its roots. You couldn't get Thor Ragnarok without Joss Whedon's
But
Avengers.
they kind of dropped the whole Shakespearean thing in Ragnarok.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying
apologies.
Him being kind of a ridiculous figure started in the Avengers because Thor just took it seriously.
No, but that's the thing. Thor was serious in the Avengers, but it's when you pair him up against the other Avengers that's what makes it silly. Thor himself is not being silly, whereas in Ragnarok, Thor is being silly.
Right, but I feel like my point still stands of him being like a comic character.
Yeah, in that respect, just the fact that Thor is comic relief.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but he's not deliberate comic relief. It's Thor in the context of these other superheroes.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Whereas in Ragnarok, he generates the comedy.
Yeah.
You know?
All I'm saying is that all that had its germ root in the Avengers.
No, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. But it's a different... would you at least agree that he's a different character in Ragnarok than we'd seen prior? Different in the sense that he feels like he's a different character.
I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I've only seen it the once and a long time ago.
So let's not get boiled down in a Marvel tangent.
Yes, very true.
Yes.
No. But yeah, going back to Jojo Rabbit. Based off of the trailers, I generally didn't think I was going to like it.
Mm.
And then I watched it and I was like, I can't decide. It's not bad. It's not great.
Mm.
I don't necessarily think it should be up for an Oscar, but I don't really know.
Is there a specific moment or character or storyline or anything like tangible that you can point out and go, this is stopping me from disliking the film? From outright disliking it?
I do think Scarlett Johansson's good in it.
Yes, I would agree. She's good in it.
The scene there's the scene in my head of... Are we spoiling this, by the way?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, so the scene where the kid finds her hanging.
Yeah, that was. Right. I thought that was a good moment.
I like that. I do like the chemistry and the relationship between the kid and the girl. And I like the sweetness of him writing the letters. I do like that. Because it's a sweet little thing of him pretending to write these little letters from her other half, even though she knows her other half is her like boyfriend from the year before is dead.
Yeah, it gives it something. It gives it like a new dimension, I guess. You know, dimension is a bit grand, but when you find out that the partner's been dead all along, it adds a nice layer to it.
Yeah, well, it's the thing, because it's a sweet little kid.
Yeah.
Realistically, okay, he's a Nazi, but he's a sweet little kid who can't do what he wants to do in terms of help the fight in the war.
Yeah.
And he should absolutely hate her, and he does to an extent, but he definitely doesn't because he completely and utterly fancies her.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that little sweetness thing of, he does it, he's like, yeah, I've got this letter, he's breaking up with you. She cries. Oh, shit. So he, tries to mend it. He does this letter where it's like, oh, yeah, me and your friend who have come up with this idea that we're going to get you to Paris safe and everything like that. And then she goes, well, he's been dead for a year. And then he's like, I've got one more letter.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not the plan. I'm dead. Or whatever,
Yeah.
And I kind of like the touch that the final letter wasn't even written. He was just making it up on the spot. So that's a nice way to end that little story arc, I guess.
So as I say, I like that.
Okay.
And as I say, I like the chemistry. I like Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
I do not like Taika Waititi in it.
How much is he actually in the film? Because I remember
enough to annoy me.
Enough to annoy, yeah. But I remember thinking, oh, he's not in it.
It's less than the trailer suggests, definitely.
Stephen Merchant, I was disappointed as how little
Stephen Merchant was criminally underused.
Yeah.
But the one thing that gets me, and it's a line, it's to do with the script, and this is where I do take issue because it feels smart-arsey / just arsey, with one of the final lines being "fuck you, Hitler" as he kicks him out a window.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
just manufactured to be like a crowd-pleasing moment, isn't it? Where everyone cheers as he like comically punches him out of the window.
But there's a lot of that in Jojo Rabbit.
Shoots him out the window, whatever.
Things that are manufactured to be this kind of moment, like, oh, isn't the boy actually really sweet that he's doing this to the girl? We've talked about this before. I hate moments in films that feel designed to make me feel or think something. I know that seems counterintuitive because that's what film is.
That's what
trying
films do, yeah.
But it's when you see it, that's when I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And the film is just really flaccid. That's the best word I can use for it. It's just a bit limp. It's not cutting, it's not biting.
None of his films, none of his like traditionally shot films, I think, have any teeth to them, really.
No, that's
I'm saying that as someone who likes Hunt for the Wilder People.
Yeah, I think it's very milquetoast.
Yeah, but I think What We Do in the Shadows is definitely where he's at his strongest, I think.
That's his best film, but even then it's kind of it doesn't quite reach
even
that
the TV
point.
show, though. I think the TV show is better because you get it in smaller doses as
He
well.
also has nothing to do with it.
There is that.
Yeah. But yes, it just kind of feels like it thinks it's better than it is. It didn't teach me anything new. It didn't give me a new perspective on anything.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of baffles me the most about it, is what are you supposed to take away from this film other than Natty's bad?
That is what you're supposed to
I feel like
you're supposed to look at it and go, oh, in a way, isn't the like current life sort of like that, and we better kind of be precautious.
Are you sure about that?
Absolutely, because I've heard him say that in an interview.
Okay,
he said we need to not forget that this happened because I think we're in danger of forgetting.
Right.
Also, the thing they've gone for is Nazis are bad. Let's make that funny.
Because won't that be edgy?
It's not. It's just the fact that like, oh, Hitler is the imaginary friend, and it's framed as like this sort of family-friendly comedy. I feel like the satire, or at least the film thinks that the satire is deeper than Nazis bad. You know?
Oh yeah,
but it isn't.
No, it's not. It's not. It's kind of it points out some of like the ridiculous element, the more ridiculous elements of it. But again, it sort of exemplifies the fact of how soft the target is in a way. Look, it's not hard to show the Nazis being scumbags. It's kind of like the Tarantino thing. But the scene where they're all
Tarantino thing
of like picking targets that are easy to. I know it's still tricky territory to lampoon the National Socialists, but like the scene where Stephen Merchant inspects the house and they're all doing the
Heil Hitler. Yeah.
It's meant to isn't it kind of ridiculous, silly how they all have to do that all the time? And the interview I saw, he was like, I just kind of took that to its logical conclusion, like, oh, they'd have to do it to everyone. Did they have to? It was like, mate, this is what you're choosing to pick on. It's just like, what is this? It's just limp dick shit. Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
Like,
what have you taught me?
Yeah,
I would say I liked her way of getting out of it by pretending to be the person.
Right.
I like the way that she deals with it, because she's like, oh yeah, here, these are my papers. She gets the shit wrong in Sam Rockwell. Sam fuck me.
Sam Rowland? What were you going to say?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell covers for her.
Yeah.
But I did like it wasn't just, oh, they don't find her. It was, oh no, I'm here. I'm going to pretend to be her. And they pull it off to a varying level of success. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
Thing is, like I said, I don't strongly dislike the film. It operates at the frequency that all of his films seem to, which is, it's all right.
Yeah.
And you said, is there a reason I can point to and go, that's why I like it less?
Yeah.
It's not that. It's more just like the film is competently made enough.
Yes.
That I like it to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But it never kind of gets past that point. I'm still waiting for Rebel Wilson to be in a good film.
Yeah. Right. Eddie, is Rebel Wilson bad, or is she just very bad at picking her projects?
No, she's bad.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think she's bad because I think if she was good, I think she would have found.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, she got it in by being fat and a funny woman nominally.
Yeah.
She is fat.
Yeah.
But like,
it's fine. She owns it.
You know what I mean. But like, she's a rebel.
Jesus.
Maybe
Christ.
rebel against the carbs, you fucking bloater. That's coming from me.
Yeah, right back at you.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll let that one.
I'll let it go. I mean, sort of we're still in that ballpark.
Yeah.
But Rebel Wilson, yeah, she's not funny. I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice to kind of see her do something where her being fat is not important. And that sounds like a dangerously progressive thing for me to say. But you know, it's like everything has to be kind of inversely about her being fat. It's like, not haha, she's fat. It's, aha, she's fat. But look, she's kind of owning it and making fun of it and doing other stuff. But it's not. It's her being fat is still always the thing.
Yeah.
And in everything she's in. I don't want to go to a drama where it's about a woman like really, like sincerely struggling with her weight. Just do something where it's just not even an issue.
This is obviously working under the assumption that she's choosing these projects, but I think she certainly is to a degree.
Well, at this stage, you'd think she could pick.
Yeah, she could pick what she wants to do. But, isn't Rebel Wilson tired of being Rebel Wilson in every film?
Yeah.
You know? Surely it just reaches a point where you're in enough films doing that shtick. Or just for variety, I'll try something different, you know?
Yeah.
I want to very briefly revisit the scene where you find that Scarlett Johansson has been hung.
Right.
Hanged. I did it. I did the thing. Because I said that I liked that, and Sam made a face.
I did.
Why did you make a face?
Pick up on that. Because it sort of... I made the point about something else later. A scene that's manufactured to kind of go... In this, generally speaking, light-hearted, coming-of-age drama with a satirical intent... It was meant to be the moment in the film where you go, oh, but boy, this is like...
Yes.
But there are real stakes to this. And I know the film sort of had to do that. But at the same time, it's like the boy in the striped pajamas, the ending of that where they're all led into the gas chamber. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like seeing the strings in front of me when I'm watching something.
I mean, it's...
or the rope.
Or the rope, yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
It's like... I mean, the thing that I like about it is the biggest sucker punch the film has, and you could argue that it's maybe a bit too drastic a change.
But you know it's coming as well, though. You know for the kind of film it is, are they going to do something like that?
Yeah, but there's no. They set up because it's all done visually as well, which I like. There's no dialogue in that scene. You know instantly what has happened just from the image that they show you, and the kid reacts to it silently in the sense that he doesn't say words or anything like that. But isn't it the point? Isn't that the point that it's supposed to be like an emotional like this kid has found his mother hanging in the street, and that's a feature of Nazi Germany.
My like of that scene,
I like the way it's executed most above everything else. Yeah, Sam pointed out. Yeah, all right.
I like the fact that it's there's like no dialogue to that scene. And it's not just... It doesn't show us a shot of her face. He figures it out from the shoes.
It's kind of respectfully done as well. Like, it's not graphic.
He figures it out from the shoes.
Yeah. Which, again, was like... That didn't feel quite like a setup. Maybe that's just me. But, we see her shoes a couple of times, and that didn't feel like they were setting up, that reveal.
Yeah. But it's the thing, because obviously... One of the things they do throughout the film is obviously her trying to teach him how to tie his shoes. And obviously he goes to sort of tie hers. He doesn't completely do it right. But then, obviously, he does it right with the Jewish girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, that was the point to it. Because, obviously, when he didn't quite do it right to his mother's shoe, and I was like, oh, I'd quite like that if he still didn't know how to tie a shoe properly.
Right.
And then, obviously, he ties the Jewish girl's one right, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he's learned nothing. Like, that whole thing is pointless because he's learned nothing from it.
No, because his journey is he learns that Nazis are bad.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
But that's the thing. That is part, basically his journey. He learns that Nazis are bad.
I would say that this is tangent. This is going back to the scene a little bit. Me saying that it was like a sucker punch, like a deliberate sucker punch. I would argue that one the film kind of gets away with.
Right.
But the end when the town is invaded and everything's blowing up and he's walking through and it's like in slow motion, it's dramatic. That feels like a step too far.
Right.
That feels like the film is just trying way too hard to be like, oh, the realness of the situation is set in now,
Yes. I guess the film, it felt like it needed a kind of explosive finale.
Yes, given the setting as well.
Yeah.
And also it's like the definitive cut-off point. Like, oh, the Nazis have now been defeated.
Yes, yeah. It may be, it's based on a novel, isn't it? It kind of might have been more interesting if the big arc, the big resolution of the film had been that he comes to understand. Look, I don't really know when the Hitler Youth started and all that sort of stuff. Presumably around the start of the war or before the war, even.
Yeah, probably.
It might have been more interesting if he had gone through that whole experience and I'm woke now and it's 1940.
Yes,
there's still 5 years of Nazi rule. Do you know what I mean? Of like so his mother he goes through all those changes. He helps the Jewish girl, but the ultimate thing is, oh shit, there's 5 more. Rather than like the happy ending, I suppose.
Yeah,
But
isn't that
more interesting?
arguably what Scarlett Johansson is dealing with? Because she's anti-Nazi, isn't she?
Yeah.
And she's been anti-Nazi for a while, so she has been living through the war, opposing that regime.
Yeah, but I'm
silently opposing that regime.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a child arriving at the realization that his masters are evil.
Okay.
But still having to be under their rule for another 5 years.
Okay.
Like, that story isn't... As soon as he's, like, snaps out of the fascist coma, they're liberated. And I just kind of... I don't know. There's something more interesting about...
Yeah, no, I agree.
Having to exist in that bubble. Because that is even further kind of... If you want to make a point about... Draw a parallel between then and now.
Yeah.
It's even more of kind of a call to arms of, like, if you feel like you live under this kind of government, or you live under these authoritarians, you can't be silent.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been more of a call to arms, you know?
Yeah. Is it harder to do a family-friendly version of that?
Not if it's kind of implied. You could have still had that ending with, like, him and the girl. Okay, they're not liberated, but they're friends. He's going to help her, something. And maybe suggest that she's going to get out, but he has to stay. And his personal things like, I got her out. I just have to keep my head down now.
Yeah.
So it's bittersweet. There's a tragedy in it, but it's also, our hero has learned the valuable lesson, you know? I don't know. I just think that's more interesting.
And it would give Hitler more time as he becomes the villain at that point.
Yeah.
So it would give him more, because I feel like Hitler as a villain, that's only like 1 or 2 scenes, isn't it? The rest of it, he's like the funny best friend.
Yeah.
It's only when Jojo starts turning on him essentially, because he's helping a Jewish girl.
Yes.
That Hitler gets pissed.
Okay, and do you have anything more to say about it?
No,
I want to bring up one more thing.
Okay, that's everything for me with Jojo.
Okay, we've talked before about a film earning the use of a song.
Ah, yes.
Now, admittedly, they're both translations. But what are your feelings, Eddie, on the use of David Bowie's Heroes? What would that being your favourite song and all?
It is horrific.
It did feel proper manipulative.
It's the same with it's bookended by 2 songs I like.
Yeah, same.
Heroes and I Want to Hold Your Hand by the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it a German version of the song at the beginning?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're both German versions.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is with the Beatles. That and She Loves You. That is a thing. They made German versions of them at the time.
I didn't know that.
For the German play. So that was a thing. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, right. I don't particularly like that you've used this song.
Yeah.
But creative license or what? Whatever. That shit.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then they use Heroes, and I was like, okay, 2 songs I quite like, but even if it is the German versions of both, bookending this, that is something I really didn't like.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, I didn't particularly feel like they earned their place. Like,
the thing is...
I mean, there's an argument to be made that Heroes and I Want to Hold Your Hand are, like, lyrically and sort of tonally relevant.
This is the point I was going to make. If you had to brainstorm what song do we use for the end of this film, there is no song that ticks more boxes than Heroes.
Yeah.
It's about the fall of the Berlin Wall, right?
Yeah.
So kind of at least nationally relevant. It's about lovers, like a man and a woman.
I think it was. I don't know if it was a man and a woman.
Oh, okay, but like 2.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not lovers, but there's that sort of. There's a kind of flirtationship romance between them. There's that. We can be heroes just for one day. Obviously, the big thing at the end of the film is that he kind of has become a hero rather than a villain. That kind of the tone of that music. It's, I think, partly because it's associated with Perks being a wallflower. It has a coming of agey quality to it.
I mean, the music just sounds triumphant.
It does, right? So if I'm the guy that has to say yes or no on those terms, yes, there is no better song in the world. But it's just a gut thing. Yeah. I think it's a really good metric of whether you're with the film, if you're okay with them using a song you love. And I just wasn't okay with it. No. Even though intellectually I can go, yeah. It works for all these reasons. I still don't care. Fuck you haven't earned it. You know?
Yeah.
I think the other thing for me, I think they could have played it out with a score. I don't think they needed to bookend it with those songs. I think it could have been done with a score.
It is a bit distracting.
I just think it's a bit over the top.
Yeah.
Like, they're both very well-known songs. Big songs, certainly, of the time and, even now.
Yeah.
But I just think you could have done it. I just don't think it was necessary.
Yeah, and this is not a huge criticism because I don't think many people would have seen Perks being a wallflower. But there are like certain songs that you just associate with certain films. I associate Heroes with Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Yeah.
That song and that film are so like tightly, united for me. So to hear it being used in another film, that doesn't help the idea that the film hasn't earned it.
Yeah, and usually I would say, like, earlier you mentioned about Looper now being like the standard for time travel explanation things. I would usually say, oh, is that just an us thing that we associate heroes with that film? Because it's not a massive film, but the use of the song in that film is a plot point. Yeah, it's it's called the Tunnel Song. Yeah, it's so, like you said,
it's not a song. Film. It's not just a song that's important to the film. It's important to the characters in that film as well.
Yeah. Really they talk about the song.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it is odd. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are we done with Jojo Rabbit?
I think we are.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Parasite, more like Parasite to behold. There we go. Gotta keep it going.
That was great. Okay, I now have a criticism. Jordan's just won the best Oscar winner.
Yeah.
I haven't got one for Marriage Story. That took me by surprise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just we'll give an IOU to Marriage Story. We'll come back with a pun.
All right. Okay.
Or not. It's fine, Jordan.
I'm trying to go off Marriage Story now.
Fuck's sake.
Okay, no, never mind.
Don't fuel the fire.
All right, so we do 1917 then.
Okay.
You suck. No, it doesn't suck.
No, it's fine.
I'm just kind of glad that the alpha male didn't get the girl,
Yes. Yeah. 1917, more like 19.7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I panicked. I also didn't have a pun for 1917. That was also a recent addition, actually. We realised as we were watching the Oscars, oh shit, we should probably talk about 1917.
Yeah, so we have absolutely nothing planned.
No.
I mean, when do we ever come into these with the right kind of plan?
It's an interesting question in a way. It's like, how much preparation should you do for... You obviously want these conversations to be as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
But you also want to have something to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at our planning going back, we were going to have the top 10 films out before New Year.
Yes.
And they weren't going to be in 3 parts.
No.
They weren't going to take like 20 days to record a 10-hour podcast.
Yeah, we were still going to be playing catch up by like mid-February.
Yeah, we foolishly thought that we could do the top 10 one kind of, in our minds, slightly longer than usual sitting, but we didn't do it and get past it.
When it comes to talking about the best films of this year, I feel like we might have to limit it to 5.
Yeah. We're too lazy to stop talking, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, 1917.
I mean, I like that style of film. I like one shot.
Well, yes, because
like Birdman.
You might have said that it wouldn't be your 10th now, but it did make it into your top 10. For a while. But if you're not listeners, there's no point going back to those episodes. They're clearly not canon anymore.
They're basically redundant because Parasite's got up in yours and hers now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do like that style. I really liked it in Birdman, and I do like it in this.
Okay.
It's well directed.
I think it transcends gimmick. That's the question, isn't it?
Well, I think it's definitely the best one take, in inverted commas, one take film I've ever seen. It's
I would agree.
Flawless.
Yeah.
The execution of it is flawless. There's a little moment, and it's not a showy moment, but it's after they've been given their mission and they're going through the trenches, and they walk around a crowd of people, and the camera sort of like goes through a crowd of people. And then the camera turns around so that it's looking at the front of them. Yeah. And you see that there were no gaps in that crowd of people that the camera could have passed through. So there's clearly been a cut somewhere. Yeah. Just no idea where. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. You're doing this well.
I watched, it came up on Facebook of all things, but there was a clip and it was like a behind the scenes of how they shot. There's a scene where as everyone's going over the top.
Yeah.
He's running across.
The big finale.
What I like is, it kind of felt like, when he like runs into the soldiers, falls over and carries on, it just felt like that probably wasn't intentional, but he just got hit by people and went, fuck it, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, it's nice when moments like that happen in films where it's not clear, in a good way, it's not clear whether it was intentional or not.
Yeah. Verisimilitude.
Yes. What's the in Collateral when Tom Cruise, he throws a chair through a window, jumps through, and then kind of trips over
slips. Yeah. That's definitely not planned.
It's too clumsy for like Tom Cruise.
And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, you got James Corden falling down the stairs.
Yeah, just thinking of that. Yeah,
in Cats.
But fat guy falling over is funny.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that was one moment of the Oscars that we actually enjoyed, wasn't it?
Well,
I mean, you two enjoyed.
Okay, all right.
Do you not enjoy it because it was cats, or
I just think we need to forget that film as quick as possible.
We do.
No, I think we need to remember it in the same way that
this is the full stop at the end of the sentence that is cats. If this is how they're choosing to leave the film, like they're going to come out and present the best visual effects Oscar, I think that's fine. This should be the last time Cats the film has ever referenced.
Yeah, it's James Corden. I don't think he will. I think he's going to do his fucking show in America and come out dressed as a cat.
I think after the Holocaust, had they...
Okay, where are you going with this?
After the Holocaust, had they razed Auschwitz to the ground, we would be bereft of a symbol of what humanity is capable of. So I think we need to remember cats in the same way that we remember the Holocaust.
I can't believe you just compared cats to the Holocaust. Cats is infinitely worse.
Cats is worse than the Holocaust. That is an episode title, if ever I do one. And an instant just a shortcut to any potential demonetization if it ever gets monetized.
We just lost all viewership.
Speaking of world wars,
let's go back to 1917.
As we've probably talked about it on previous podcasts, I'm not generally a fan of the one-shot thing. It just feels too flamboyant, just showing off, you know?
Yeah.
I get why they've done it. It feels like the kind of film that you would do that for. But it didn't irritate me in this one.
No.
So that's a sign that it was doing something well. But at the same time, I feel like the film kind of is only that, really, you know? It was nominated for screenplay at the Oscars, and we were like, you just don't really think
that
about
was a surprise.
It's not a film I'm watching for its screenplay.
No.
Because its screenplay is fairly average.
Yeah, it's just a normal World War
I
screenplay, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I do like some of the visuals for it. Like, when they go over the top and they're in no man's land, and, like, you've got the dead bodies in the ground and everything like that, and just, like the left, like the tanks and stuff like that.
Yeah, that whole scene is like a tease, isn't it? It's like something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's good at raising that tension.
Yeah. There were moments of kind of cinematic transcendence. The moment where he's knocked out and then he wakes up and it's all, the whole area's been set on fire. And there's one where he's running along and you've got the kind of fire in the background lighting the whole scene.
Yes.
And Thomas Newman's score kind of swells. And that was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of firing on all cylinders at this point.
I really like that as he's like leaving that area, because he's in that area, then he sort of finds the woman with the child. And then he realizes, I'm running out of time, I have to go now.
Yeah.
And as he's running out of that area, the sky is it's getting lighter.
Yeah.
So the sky is kind of like a very darkish blue. I liked that.
Yeah.
I was watching that thinking, you don't usually see this time of day in film. It's either like dark or it's dusk or it's day. It was nice that it's kind of like that, murky early morning kind of look to it.
I know what you mean.
I do like George McKay in it.
Yeah, he's fine,
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
It's not. I liked the fact that they killed off. I can't remember.
Dean Charles Chapman.
Okay, yeah, the guy from Game of Thrones.
Here's the thing, because obviously that is the big kind of surprising moment of the film.
Yeah, because he dominates trailers.
Yeah, you think it's going to be a two-hander, and then he dies like 20, 30 minutes in.
Yeah, and also a couple of things happen to George McKay that makes you think, he's going to die.
Yeah.
Like he cuts his hand, and then his hand goes into someone's body. It was like, he's going to get infected or something.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I'm not sure if we talk about this on the podcast or outside of it. I sort of expected that to happen. I'm not saying I'm like...
Yeah, we did have that conversation. I don't know if it was...
Not sure if it's like,
not.
Precocious film genius. Just on the level of Dean Charles Chapman in Game of Thrones doesn't really have to do much acting. It's not
His death is amazing in that.
It's a great death, but like it's not a very demanding role.
Who does he play? Do I know the character?
He plays Tom
and Baratheon. You've probably seen the clip of like just him walking off the balcony.
That's him. Okay. Yeah. I've seen that clip.
Yeah. It's not a demanding role. It's like young king, naive sort of thing. And so I thought, does he have the experience and the pedigree to kind of help carry this one-shot movie? And I just don't think that he has that much experience yet.
Yeah.
So I sort of thought that he wasn't going to make it very far,
But the thing is, I feel like in that regard, it plays into it a little bit. Because he killed by a German being a naive fucking getting him out of a burning. No, leave the German in there to burn to die.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, I don't know whether you're supposed to think that this is going to be a moment of humanity, where it's like, both sides come together, they kind of, this is all shit, isn't it?
No, German stabs him.
Yes.
Well done, dipshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. the film is its kind of technique. You know, the Roger Deakins, you still can't fault that man.
No, absolutely.
He won the Oscar deservedly so.
I do like the fact that he spent ages not winning Oscars.
And
that's all
was it 2 in a row he's won from? Like, he was 2 in 3 years or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I believe The Lighthouse is on our list, so we're going to get to The Lighthouse. But I think The Lighthouse should have won cinematography. I will not deny the achievement of 1917. And it's not just the fact that it's a gimmick well done, it's also a gorgeous looking film as well.
Yes.
But, well, we'll discuss it when we get to the Lighthouse. But I think that should
I prefer the film, but we will get to it. But I just think for that achievement, like if you're going to reward the film for anything, it's that, you know? So I thought, fair play, got no complaints about him winning.
Yeah.
That's sort of it. They're a little, like, you're a big fan of the Andrew Scott in it, aren't you?
Yeah, it's my favourite thing I've ever seen him do. Yeah. And he's in it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was more than one take because he fucked it up.
Did he?
So, the first time the first time they went to shoot it, he fucked it up and they were shooting like a 7-minute block at the same time. So all the bit that walks through or something to when they get to him was all done as like one thing.
Okay.
And he fucked up like his very few lines he fucked up. So they had to go back and shoot the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Because they were shooting it in sort of minute blocks or whatever it was.
Oh my God, that must be... I mean, in general, it can be a bit embarrassing if you flub a take. But to do it when it's like 8 minutes long or whatever it is.
One of the bigger names in the film. Yeah. And he's like, these guys are out here like smashing it on one take. And I'm like, oh no.
But you've sort of got to account for that, haven't you? Because like at the end of the day, they say in theatre, if you fuck up, like it's paramount. You can't fuck up in theatre.
Yes.
But they do all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
And then just kind of cover it with the next thing. Obviously, you can't do that in a film. But I don't know. I feel like it's... Maybe I'm being too soft on them. I don't know. Like it's kind of an unrealistic expectation that they're just going to completely nail on the first take.
Yeah.
This kind of epic task, you know?
Yeah.
Films like this, my problem with them broadly is that they generally lack depth. Birdman probably remains the deepest one-shot movie.
Yeah.
1917 doesn't really do much beyond its experience, you know?
Yeah.
It's an experiential film. There's no big... At the end of the film, I think it's George Mackay, I think is how you're supposed to pronounce it. I don't know. That could be like a pretentious...
Just going to call him Georgie boy.
Yeah. That could be like it's Ralph Fiennes, actually, sort of thing. With it's Ralph in it.
Turns out it's not even George.
Ralph Fiennes. At the end of the film, he kind of relaxes. He just kind of sits down next to a tree and he looks at a picture of his wife and kid and you go, oh yeah, he's got a wife and kid. But that, like, doesn't say anything, you know?
No, but also, he sits down and does that, but he's just walked away from a tent with a shit ton of people dying. And it's just like, I mean, alright, mate, like, I get it, but like, that guy's definitely missing like a leg.
Mean, it's supposed to be, that moment is kind of supposed to transcend the reality of the film in a way, I feel, right?
What? In what way?
Not that it's not physically happening, just kind of like, I think like the camera pans back around when he's on the tree and you can't see the tents or anything behind him. So it implies that he's not in that space anymore.
Yeah.
But no, it just kind of feels like, okay, the film ended. The story and like the events and everything ended with him telling the guy's brother that he's dead.
Yeah.
And now this is a moment that he's experiencing. And it's kind of like, because it bookends the film, doesn't it? Because it ends a similar way to how
it's there to bookend it. Him against a tree, that's how it starts. I think what it's meant to do is to kind of go, right, we've had this kind of tumultuous... horrible experience of war.
Yeah.
And now we get to see the kind of, not cost or consequence, but it adds that level of, oh yeah, these people have families.
Yeah.
But you know that sort of anyway.
And I don't know whether it's supposed to be, because it's one take, like, okay, we can't cut to him at the end of the war. We can't cut to him, like, meeting his family. We need to have a moment that kind of shows, like, oh, he's going to be fine. He's going to get out of this. He's going to make it.
I just want to know how the fuck he got back to his own trench.
Yeah.
Like, that was a lot of effort to get there over no man's land.
He was like unconscious for a little bit, wasn't he? So he probably doesn't even. He probably can't even go back.
Well, he went down a fucking river and a waterfall. Like,
they should make a sequel, 1918, where the war's over and it's just him walking to a train station or something.
Or it's just Colin Firth in the bunker going, "What the fuck is?
What's he doing?"
Yeah.
I mean, we know the other one's dead now. Like. Where's he gone?
Just Benedict Cumberbatch echoing in the background. I said, "Fuck off."
I was going to say that is one criticism I do have. I mean, Sam Mendes talked about how it was a film which didn't have like major star power in it.
Yeah,
which obviously it does, but they're background characters.
Yes.
But the problem is by the time you get to, even like by the time you get to Mark Strong, it's like, they meet someone that's vaguely important, famous name.
Yeah, it does get a bit distracting, actually.
It does.
Richard Madden did not need to be his brother.
Yeah, because you're watching it. If you don't know who the cast is going in, you're like, okay, so every incidental character he meets will be like a British, celebrity.
Yeah.
And so, you're just waiting like, oh, it's Andrew Scott. Yeah. Oh, look, it's Colin Firth. You're not in the world.
Especially since those names are not on the poster. They might be in the trailer. I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's one shot of Cumberbatch in one of the trailers.
Okay.
And Firth, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like there's one shot of Cumberbatch, and he like obviously does the turn around, which he does in the film.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, Cumberbatch is in this film. Yeah, he's in it for about a minute.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but the fact that they are that incidental,
especially
it's just Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, especially since the film had the kind of nerve, I suppose, for its two main people to be basically unknowns in the grand scheme of things. Although, Sam Mendes slagging him off at the BAFTAs.
That was funny.
The Golden Globes, right?
Golden Globes, sorry, yeah.
I see.
Basically saying like, oh, we need
it that way. I don't see that. I don't see the insult.
No, I don't know. It obviously wasn't intended to be malicious in any way, but it's just kind of like, oh, I'm glad we won an award because maybe people go see it, considering we don't have famous people in it. Or whatever.
But it wasn't that. What he was saying. Isn't it nice that that you need star power to sell a film? We don't have that because we don't have stars. We have actors who might be known.
Yeah.
And so yes, this win might push people to go see it.
However, didn't win you an Oscar.
It didn't.
No,
and we are very happy about that.
Yes.
Not
in the same way that we would be we're very happy that Joker didn't win.
Yes. No. It's more just happier rather than
just like, oh, good. Like the Oscars aren't just predictable and safe.
Yeah. To be fair, if Joker had won anything else other than what it won, might have lost a lot of faith in Hollywood.
Well, I said when Joker got the most nominations, including Phillips Best Director, well, that's it now. That's the final nail in the coffin of the Oscars. But then they
give everything to Parasite, and they bring us right back in, which means next year we will be right back.
I'm going to do it. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Terrible impression. It had to be done.
Yes.
At the end, when he pulls out the picture of his family, you're meant to go, oh, he's got a family. Oh, if only I'd known that and would have attached more. Yeah. My thought was, well, you're just reckless then, mate. If you got a wife and kid, you're running through all these fucking trenches.
Well, what's it supposed to? Because isn't he
disregard for your own life?
Isn't he directly asked by the guy, like, oh, do you have a family? Do you have a wife? Like, I don't know anything about you.
Yeah.
And he's like deliberately cagey. He's answering. And then we see at the end that he does indeed.
He does. Yeah.
So is it supposed to say something about him that he would keep that in? Obviously not that he doesn't love them. He clearly does.
Yeah,
but are we supposed to think like, this guy is like, he doesn't trust people? Or
I think he's supposed to think what a brave man that he would go through all that when he's got like a wife and kid at home.
Yeah.
But
dumb cunt.
and I think it's kind of
well, I don't think he had much of a choice in fairness.
No, I mean he expresses that to the guy. He's like, why'd you pick me? It's like, I mean, mate, you fucking made it, so it was a good choice.
It's that typical thing of like, you're also meant to think, oh yeah, all these people that I've seen get flippantly killed in the background also all have families.
Yeah.
It's meant to be that moment in Saving Private Ryan where he says, I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
It's meant to be, oh shit, like these men just aren't like...
oh, they're just like us.
They're just, yeah. But it didn't quite have the effect that it wanted to for me.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like looking back on like films when obviously like when they come out and things that I would actually go and buy. I'm not going to buy 1917.
It's gonna. I've become too like educated now on those sorts of films, like Gravity. I know for a fact it's just going to wither on the vine now.
Yeah.
It's going to get worse and worse every time I see
1917
it.
is going to wither on the vine. Yeah.
All those films do,
Yeah, but it's like if you look at like obviously what is up, or what was up for Best Picture this year.
Yeah.
No one's going to give a shit about Ford versus Ferrari in about 3 months.
In fairness, I don't think anyone gives a shit about it now.
No, true. I don't think anyone's going to give a shit about this Little Women adaptation in a little bit, other than, Gerwig didn't win, or didn't get a nom.
Whenever Gerwig does, whatever Gerwig's next project is, people will care about that. It's like Ladybug. Is it Ladybug? Ladybird.
Yeah.
Where I don't really hear people talk about that anymore.
God, no.
Since Little Women came out, it's like, that's the thing we're going to, back.
Yeah.
That's the horse.
These are, obviously, the Oscars have to operate somewhat within as we all do, within a zeitgeist of the now.
Yeah.
They have to nominate the films that are kind of getting the best reviews, ideally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of difficult to think long term about in 5-10 years' time which films are going to be looked back on. Like, that one Best Picture that year,
Yeah. Like, is it Chicago?
Chicago or A Beautiful Mind, there's plenty of examples, but this will be one of the few years where you go, Parasite is definitely going to become a
take Birdman as an example.
Yeah.
Most people don't fucking remember that at all.
I think in 20, 30 years' time, Parasite will be considered one of the best films of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
People will remember Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because it's Tarantino, and if you look back at his collection, you'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, no one's going to remember The Irishman, I don't think.
No.
That's going to sort of fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Maybe, no one's going to really remember Jojo Rabbit.
No, other than Taika Waititi fans.
Yeah. That one fucking adapted screenplay.
I know.
Oscar-winning writer Taika Waititi. I mean, I do like him. I like him a lot more than you, obviously. You've made that clear in the past. I wouldn't have said that he was Oscar-worthy, though.
No.
He feels like he's a bit below that.
Well, but I just don't think Jojo... as I say, I kind of am like on the fence with Jojo Rabbit.
Right.
I just don't think it's Oscar-worthy.
Yeah, it's just not that good.
No.
Is it just because of not the source material, but just because of what it's dealing with? The fact that it's Hitler and it's Nazis and it's...
I suppose so. Although I will say, what really annoys me is now an Oscar-winning screenplay that has the line "fuck you, Hitler" in it.
There is that.
And that just...
Do you not like that line?
No! It kicks it out.
He's a white supremacist.
Why do you keep slagging off Hitler? He had good points.
He was kind to dogs.
Yeah. He was a vegetarian.
He killed
about the environment.
6 million Jews, you know.
So the Holocaust is the recurring theme of this podcast.
It's fine, cats are still worse.
His dog was called Blondie, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, Hitler's dog was called Blondie.
Of course. He liked blonde hair, so...
Yeah. Nazi. Okay.
But yeah.
Exterminate all the Jews.
But I do think, like, as much as I love Marriage Story, I think people will forget about that as well.
I don't know. Marriage Story I'm sort of like wavering on. I think that could become a kind of modern little classic.
Maybe. I mean, it's Netflix, though. How much from Netflix gets remembered?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. No, Parasite is the one film of the year that will be remembered, like 100%.
Yes. Even if people don't like it, like, it's in the history books now.
Yeah.
So it'll be remembered for that, at the very least.
Yeah. But it's, you know, like the film about Judy. But if you like Judy Garland, you might care, but...
No one's going to remember that in a month.
No.
You know.
Harriet.
No one's seen that. No one's seen it.
Well done, Cynthia Erivo. You made a film no one watched.
Have either of you seen Harriet?
No.
Right. I don't even know what it is.
No. Well, it's about Harriet Tubman.
What's that?
She was part of the...
Sorry, it wasn't even who's that. It was, what's that?
she was an abolitionist. Part of the Underground Railway.
I see. Okay.
Cynthia Erivo. That film.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. Who was gave a performance dressed in one of those dog collars that, like, when dogs are ill, those things they put around their necks, the big fucking megaphone things.
It was almost like that, yeah.
That or a chancellor from a Star Wars planet.
Do they, what are the things from Magic Crystal? Do they have something like that as well?
Magic Crystal.
Is it the Magic Crystal?
The Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal.
I don't know. I'm not familiar really with
Chamberlain
the
or whatever they're called. They have the big... Oh, no, actually, no. Time Lords have something like that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Does Eddie Redmayne
they have things like that?
Have something like that in Jupiter Ascending?
Ooh, maybe.
It's that typical, like, emperor, like, I'm so evil, my collar goes above my head.
Yeah.
You know. Whatever that means.
A massive collar to signify my wickedness.
Yeah. The 1917, all said and done, it was alright. Yeah. Insubstantial, but well executed.
Yes.
I will say the only thing is I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Like,
if I were to recommend it as anything, I'd recommend it as entertainment over art. You know.
Yeah.
If you like one-shot takes.
Yeah, I suppose it's good in that respect, in that it's pinnacle
if you like
of
that
one-shots.
style of film, fine.
Yeah.
If you like war films, fine.
It's the pinnacle of one-shot films. Is it the pinnacle of one-shot takes? Is there a one-shot take in another film that isn't completely one-shot? That's like a better example of that craft than 1917.
I'm not familiar with how much editing there was, but for me, Children of Men is still the standout.
Oh, okay.
That big battle sequence, you know, that's still the best example of that I've seen. But I can still picture, you know, that's iconic.
Yes.
Picture that.
The car as well, where it's kind of rotating around the car.
Yeah,
that's pretty iconic as well.
Okay. Yeah. What should we move on to now then?
1970.
Let's talk about 1917 again.
I think we should talk about 1917.
Let's have the exact same conversation again. And not
Lighthouse.
tell anyone.
Okay, The Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse. More like the...
Sure.
All right,
The
Robert
Lighthouse.
Eggers, we get it, you're great.
Okay. The Lighthouse?
Don't ruin this film, it's good.
It's a lighthouse. Okay. What do we think about The Lighthouse?
Fucking great.
Yeah, he said it. Yeah, yeah, he was.
Why is it fucking great?
Black and
Willem
white.
Dafoe being a sea captain.
What?
You're fond of me lobster, aren't you, lad?
Yeah, that's the line on the poster. Fond of me lobster. Right.
Oh god.
I think the line I was is, why'd you spill your beans?
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got a theory about The Lighthouse.
Okay.
Do you want me to expound
shall
upon
we? Because we didn't actually see what the plot of 1917 was. Not that it matters, but do we want to give a bit of ease people into the Lighthouse discussion first before we throw the heavy stuff at them?
Okay. All right then.
Okay.
What's it about?
Yeah. What's it about?
What's it about?
The film is based in, is it the 1890s?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it's on an island, and it's Willem Dafoe and it's Robert Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
And they're part of like I assume they rotate people. They rotate workers at that lighthouse.
I think they rotate.
It's supposed to be on a monthly basis.
Yeah, so they go to this island where they have to maintain and operate a lighthouse for a month with the promise that after the month is over, they'll be brought back to land and they'll be paid. They do that. They go to the lighthouse for a bit. Robert Pattinson is being deliberately cagey about his past and where he comes from and who he is. And Willem Dafoe is insane, completely mad. And then at the end of the month, the boat never comes. And time continues to pass, and the boat continues to not come, and they just get drunk, and it all goes to shit, and they all just go mad.
Basically,
yeah, it's one of those descent into madness kind of films.
Yeah,
so
it is.
That is the plot. Two people go insane on an island.
Yeah,
if you will, not the plot, but that's what you're watching the film for.
Yes, Eddie.
Yes.
What are your insights about The Lighthouse?
I really like that. Honestly, I'm trying to think of Pattinson is very good. Dafoe is very good. Mm-hmm. I like that it's black and white, and obviously it's shot on. I literally looked it up so I got the right aspect ratio. It's shot on 1:19:1.
Yes, it's very confined, restricting aspect ratio, almost a square.
Almost, and it's shot with lenses from the turn of the century as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is the sound? Do they use microphones closer to that era as well? Because the sound, it's like Cuphead, where it kind of has like a crackly, old-timey feel to it almost.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was added in post or not.
Okay.
But knowing him, probably not.
But yeah, no, I had a lot of... just because...
A lot of what?
A lot of time for it, like this film. Okay. Because it's... I mean, I'm kind of obviously coming round on Pattinson as an actor since Good Time. So I'm sort of, warming up to him.
Yeah.
And it's really weird. It's really... I think because of the aspect ratio, it's really claustrophobic at times.
Yeah.
I mean, him wanking to a mermaid,
we've all done it.
What, to a mermaid? What?
Oh, the figure. You were talking about the figurine.
Yeah.
No, that.
No, we've all wanked to a mermaid.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, cool. Which mermaid is the question, though?
Ariel.
Yeah.
I think everyone was like, yeah. It's Ariel.
Can you name another mermaid?
Well, who's the mermaid in this?
I don't know. She wasn't bad looking.
No, the actress. I mean.
Shame about the fish.
Fuck a girl. Why not?
You'd fuck a girl.
Yeah. Okay, that was the one. I think this will sort of lead into your theory. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No. Just what I'd fuck a girl.
All right. Kind of leads into your theory because Robert Eggers.
Yeah.
Recently did. Okay. I am awake, I promise.
Okay. You sure you know what? Are you talking English?
Robert Eggers.
So Egg Roberts.
Robert Eggman.
Yeah.
He did the Vivitch. That was his first film, wasn't it? Which was sort of marketed as a horror film, and it is kind of a horror film, but it's not your typical jump scary.
No.
It's more like a disturbing horror film.
Yeah, it's not a quiet horror film.
Exactly. Yeah.
That really surprised me.
Exactly. Oh my god, thanks. Hollywood was right. This is the only horror we should be doing. And then I think a lot of people... I don't know if it was marketed as a horror film, The Lighthouse now, but I think a lot of people went in expecting it to sort of be that, maybe.
Well, it is and it isn't.
It's marketed as like a psychological drama.
Right, okay.
It's a psychological horror movie. That's definite, right?
Yeah.
Psychological horror kind of being a euphemism for smart horror.
Yeah.
Whenever you see I don't think I've ever seen a marketed as psychological horror film that ended up being terrible. I'm sure there are examples, but you know what I mean. Like it tends to just be it's more art than schlock, and so it gets psychological horror. You know, Hereditary, The Babadook. Right.
The only, and I will allow you to talk.
No, it's fine.
Because the only moment in the film where it got close to becoming like horrific for me was when he encounters the mermaid on the shore.
Right.
And because she's like tangled in a net, or she's like covered in seaweed or something. Yeah. So for initially he thinks it's just a woman, so he sort of like tries to kind of untangle her from the net, sees that she's naked, and he sort of like
fondles her breast.
Yeah, traces down her body, and then obviously she becomes a fish. And then the camera, you see Robert Pattinson's kind of look of horror, and then he looks at the mermaid, and then it sort of cuts to her as she sort of like sits upright, so her face is like right in the camera.
Yeah.
And then she starts to like scream, laugh, almost.
Yeah. Laugh hysterically.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as she sort of like came right up to the camera, that's kind of the one moment where I was like, all right, I might have to look away now.
Well, those sorts of films, psychological horror movies, they work best when you take away images from them. Yes. Things that just keep repeating in your head. Like, that's a very disturbing, creepy image.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Is this the obligatory bringing up Creature moment?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Why do you have to remind me of that?
Because it was the obligatory Creature moment.
Okay, there's a filmmaker called Trey Edward Schultz, who he made Waves last year. The film I recommended.
I still haven't seen yet.
And he made It Comes at Night before that. I think his debut feature was a film called Creature, which is nominally a dark family drama about a middle-aged woman who goes home for Thanksgiving, and there's kind of like, she's an alcoholic, and there's kind of tension there, and they're not sure whether she's relapsed and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's presented as a horror movie, as a really like dreadful, unsettling experience. But nothing horrific happens. It's just like this horrible sense of tension and dread that's in the pit of your stomach. And the opening shot of that film is just an extreme close-up on her face. That's like a tableau vivant. I think that's the right expression.
Sure.
Tableau vivant. It's not like diegetic. It's just kind of like a breaking the fourth wall Shakespearean chorus moment. And it's just her staring at the camera for what feels like an eternity, with just this expression of like, it's reaching out, and this kind of longing, and it's pain, and it's sort of ambiguous, and it's just so disturbing. She's not doing anything, she's just looking at you, and it's too intimate.
Yeah.
And because it's so close, you're expecting her to go like, ah! You know, like in The Silence of the Lambs, where obviously that film utilizes extreme close-ups a lot. Yeah. And the moment where Anthony Hopkins goes, for the first time, you jump, because it's like, oh, he like made a sudden movement.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like that, where you're really expecting something, but nothing does. But yes, so that would be an example of these images that just linger and fester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Field in England would be another good.
Okay,
you haven't seen it. Have you seen A Field in England? I won't explain it, but that film has plenty of images that just sear into your retina and psyche. Yeah, so The Lighthouse, I feel like we should expound a little bit more about what it presents itself as before I unleash my theory.
Okay.
Because it's not going to really make sense, I don't think.
Okay.
So yeah, the film, like I said, it's black and white. It has that really kind of small aspect ratio. Yeah. It's very claustrophobic. It's incredibly tense.
My mum asked me, and I said, my way of describing it to her was, it's beautifully uncomfortable.
Yeah, beautifully uncomfortable. Gracefully tense. I did
have to warn her that there was some wanking in it, because it's not the kind of thing she's going to be, okay, you know.
Yeah, so, but it's Robert Pattinson wanking. At least, like Willem Dafoe, we don't quite see him wanking.
No.
Just The Lighthouse is one of those films that I think is great, because I would recommend it to like maybe 1 in 100 people that I know, you know? Like,
oh, yeah.
Most of you aren't going to like it. You might. You like weird individual.
Yeah.
I like weird shit. I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, like you guys, obviously. And then like maybe 2 other people I know I would recommend it to. Anyway, so yeah, it's incredibly tense. It is like a psychological horror movie. It has this kind of soundscape that's very eerie.
Yeah.
Also, am I right in thinking that like when you do hear like the birds from the sea, that's been like turned up a notch?
Oh yeah, it's put on looped probably.
Yeah. No, this doesn't. This it has a natural soundscape in the sense that all of the sounds make sense. They sound like they're coming from the environment.
Yes.
But the mixing is very stylized, I think.
Yeah. Foghorns and that sort of thing.
I also think that because the ocean never looks real in the film, so I think all of that's like deliberately supposed to look like miniatures and
Yeah, it looks like a horror movie that was made in the 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
And it's very old-timey in every sense. The dialogue is very old-timey kind of maritime laden.
Which it definitely seems to be Robert Eggers' specialty, because the Vivitch was like that.
I saw an interview with him where he said that he wouldn't know what to do if he made a contemporary film.
Yeah.
He needs a reference point.
Yeah.
You know?
What be a timberman want with a wiki?
Oh yeah, I recommend if you watch it, like watch it with subtitles. I know you guys didn't.
Yes.
But I feel like the dialogue is so rich, you just get more out of it if you're seeing what they're saying.
And in some instances, you might just need the subtitles just to keep up.
Oh, for Willem Dafoe, definitely.
Yeah.
You've got Willem Dafoe doing the sea captain from The Simpsons.
Yes.
And then you've got Rob Pattinson kind of doing like a like a New England Boston draw, kind of doing that.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Daniel Plainview from Massachusetts kind of thing.
Mm.
Yes. So it's a horror movie, right? A psychological horror movie.
Yes.
On the face of it.
Sure.
It's a romantic comedy. That's what the film is. That's my grand thesis.
Okay.
It's a rom-com. Let me unpack that.
The thing is, right, so I'll just to explain to everyone.
Yeah.
Just explain why you're wrong.
No. So just to explain to everyone. Sam said to me, it was like, rewatch The Lighthouse, but view it from this point. Now, I didn't get a chance to rewatch it.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see where this theory goes.
Okay. Well, my first thought was it's a if you're looking for it, it's a comedy, not a romantic comedy.
Okay.
I don't strictly mean a rom-com in the sense that everyone thinks. So here's the comedic stuff.
Okay.
When they first get to the lighthouse, Ephraim bumps his head on like the ceiling when he walks into his room, right? If you're not viewing it through the lens of this as a comedy, that's just like a casual moment of like, oh, it's just a thing that happened, you know? Then in the first dinner that they're having together, Wake says something really portentous and like it cuts to Pattinson for a reaction of like, ooh, this is what he just said is really dark. And then it cuts back to Defoe and he just goes and he just hacks up some phlegm, right?
Yeah.
It's a completely like disjointed moment. And then in that same conversation, he like hands him a glass of vodka, whatever it is, and says, drink. He says, I don't really drink. And he says, you best have a good reason not to drink. So that's a funny little inversion there.
Okay.
You've got the farting, which is the most broadly comic thing. Defoe farting. And when I first saw the film, because I was still in the mindset of I'm approaching this as a really serious, somber movie, it was like, am I meant to find that funny? Or is that, I don't know, like, what film am I watching here? But that was the first one that kind of broke the frame for me. The intensity of it. It's so intense it becomes silly.
Mm-hmm.
But I think self-consciously silly. Like, you're not looking for a flaw. I think it knows it's over the top, and it's kind of luxuriating in
I
that.
would say, well, there's the scene where they're at the bottom of the lighthouse, completely insane, pounding on their chests.
Yeah. It's so over the top. And, like, Defoe's performance, it's so kind of archetypal. It becomes mythic. It's like he is the salty sea dog. He is that kind of... He is maritime compressed into a man. Manatime. And...
Manatee.
That
is also a thing that exists.
That is also a thing that's aqua-based.
Yes.
And at one point, Pattinson calls him a parody. Says you're a parody. Or you kind of, your sea dog stuff. It's just, it's too much. And then there's that sequence, obviously, where Pattinson throws the shit into the sea and the wind just blows it back into his face.
Yeah.
Okay, those are comic beats.
Yes.
And then, like, what supports this? Well, the editing supports it. So in that same sequence where he throws the shit, it flies back into his face. He starts to scream in the sheer horror, and it kind of cuts him off just as he starts screaming, which is funny. And it cuts it off. That's a funny edit, you know? Right, let me think. Right, so there are moments in the film, as they descend into insanity. There's a sequence where they start just fighting with each other, proper like bear fighting. And then it cuts to them slow dancing. Right? So there's that. They fight again, and then it cuts to Rob. They're both like pissed off their face. Robert Pattinson's like kind of sleeping against the door, and Defoe's resting in his lap. It's little cuts like that. It's like, this is just mad. Okay, so I think it's a comedy, a romantic comedy, about a codependent relationship. Right? Now...
Eddie's making a face.
I know.
Do you agree with this?
Think of it.
That's the face you're making, I think.
Think of it. They meet, they get to know each other, there are revelations, there are betrayals, they break up. That's the film.
Okay.
Right?
I mean, you say break up.
Well, obviously it's done through the lens of this bizarre horror
One
movie.
of them kills the other.
I'm not saying it's not exaggerated.
If that's not a breakup, I don't know what is, if I'm being honest.
Gaslighting. I think that's a big thing in the film. The idea of gaslighting. Of like, you did this. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Trying to convince each other that they've done things that the other has done, you know? I think it's about adultery. This is way out there. Like, I'm not saying that the text, this is all borne out necessarily in the text.
Okay.
This is just my little, like, fan theory, I suppose. Okay.
Expose him to fandoms and he's coming up with theories.
So, this
I'm part of the Lighthouse fandom.
The Lighthouse hipster douchebag.
They'd be called the Wikis as well.
They would be, yeah.
They're an old bickering married couple.
Does this make you the original Wiki?
I can't
imagine there's many Lighthouse fans out there.
What would the Wiki be for the Lighthouse? Be the Wiki?
It would be.
Yeah, they're an old bickering married couple. There's that point where Ephraim offends his cooking, and then you have that massive tirade where he's like, "Hark, Triton, hark!" And like, you even get the pathetic fallacy of the thunder and lightning happening as he kind of screams.
Yeah,
he has this massive rant because he's offended his cooking, and that ends with it cuts to a wide shot of Pattinson on the floor going, "All right, have it your way. I like your cooking." It's completely undercutting the grandiosity. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think the text, all of this is necessarily born out in the text, but this is the first film in a long time where I really think it is whatever you want it to be. Whatever structure or framework you're imposing on it, that's what it is, as far as I'm concerned. I'm thinking about it as a romantic comedy. That's what the film is, you know? There's that scene where the famous what scene?
Yes.
Where they're just, what? Just, that's all they're saying. And that builds and builds and builds. And that's all they're saying to each other. And then Pattinson goes, "Oh, see, that's your problem." It's like, nothing's been said. Yeah. It's just insanity.
Yeah.
And that's what this thing about...
There is a scene where he reads the logbook.
Yeah.
And, in this modern day and age of people reading each other's phones sort of secretly, you can make that comparison.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. It's about betrayals, and it's about transference, and not knowing where you end and the other person begins, you know? Did you say that, or did I? A proper codependent relationship. Yeah, obviously it's utterly absurd. Right, here's another little theory.
Sorry, my body just made a noise.
There's kind of an overlap with The Witch, right? The Witch obviously is his first film.
Yeah.
It's about these pious religious kind of nut jobs in fundamentalists, I suppose. In what are they? Pilgrims, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I can't remember what exactly religion they are, but they're traditionalists from England that have moved to America, the New World. And they're cast out of their community, so they have to build like a cabin in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And it's about paranoia and seclusion, which obviously the Lighthouse is also about. And they start to think that one of their family, that their daughter is a witch.
Yeah.
And it's about how this family completely implodes under that paranoia. Now, in the Lighthouse, Pattinson's character says that he used to be a lumberman, working with pine trees. There's kind of like an imaginative aesthetic overlap where, it's the same universe in a way, you know? The Eggers verse. So there's that connects it. But I think obviously both are about paranoia, isolation, madness, loss of identity, that sort of thing. In The Witch, that is expressed as religious dogmatism. It's expressed as superstition. That's the bedrock of the paranoia.
Yes.
It comes from superstition. In The Lighthouse, I think it's paranoia of adultery. That's my theory. Okay. You've got Willem Dafoe. You can't go in the lighthouse. The light is mine to tend. And obviously, he has this like ecstatic religious response to the light whenever he's up there. And Pattinson's like,
he gets his dick out.
Yeah, what's he getting up to up there, you know? And obviously, when he first goes up to try and see what's going on, there's this goopy liquid coming through the floorboards.
Yeah.
Which he sees
coming being the operative word.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which he sees as like a tentacled creature.
Yeah.
But obviously, he's jerking off, right?
Yeah.
It's about adultery. It's spying on it, you know. So that's my big theory.
Okay.
Paranoia, isolation, boredom, madness, loss of identity, to the point where, I said this to Jordan, the song that kept playing like subconsciously in the back of my mind as I was watching it is getting to know you, getting to know all about... I was like, why am I thinking that? Oh yeah, because it's a meet cute.
Yeah.
All that said,
okay,
I think there's nothing to understand in this film.
Even his stomach went,
I think trying to like do a Easter egg style excavation of meaning, like, you know, the seagull pops up in this scene, but then it's in this scene. What does it mean? I think you're not meeting the film on the level it's at. It's an experience. It's kind of a hypnotic, trance-like experience. Trying to unpack what it means just isn't. It's not what it's trying to do.
No.
It's just presenting you with stuff.
Yes.
And you kind of take from that what you will.
The thing is, some of that stuff is real, and some of that stuff is not real.
Yeah.
Like the moment where Robert Pattinson kills the seagull. And Willem Dafoe has previously said, seagulls carry the spirits of dead seamen.
Yeah.
It's bad luck to kill. Don't do that.
What?
Said seamen, huge immediately started.
You said cunning. You made a joke about cunning.
Yeah, I know. But that was for that. This is making a point.
Right, for anyone who wasn't aware, we are still immature.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
Horrifically.
But yes, you said it's bad luck to kill a seagull, and then Robert Pattinson really kills a seagull.
Yeah, that's funny.
Proper. Oh yeah.
What do you mean really kills? He only smashes its head into within an inch of
because I think initially it's behind because he's smashing it over like a rock or something. Or like
he's smashing. So he's smashing it on the edge of the water.
That's it. Yeah, because there's a dead seagull in there.
Yeah.
And it's contaminated their water, so out of frustration, he kind of kills another one. But it's sort of behind it, so you only see his arm wailing. You don't actually see the seagull. And then the camera pans around, and you just see this limp seagull as pieces of it are flying off. It's turning into a pulp. Yeah, that is funny. But that moment is you can look at that, and I think you are kind of supposed to that and go, okay, there's a non-literal layer that this film is also operating on.
Yeah,
it's not just depicting events that are happening. There's also stuff kind of behind that.
Well, this thing, it's a myth. The film has a mythic quality.
Yes.
The dialogue pushes it into that.
Yeah.
And the fact that there's so much maritime mythology in there.
Yes.
It's a myth. It's it would be if the era of Greek gods was replaced by 1890s.
Yes.
That would be a myth that we would all know. The myth of the two lighthouse keepers.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see, because also you've got that scene, and then what I quite like is the end scene for Pattinson. It's obviously just him laying out.
Yeah, that's
eaten
by
the bird.
Yeah. Who's the? There is a Greek parallel. No, I don't think it's a deliberate parallel. It's just that there is a Greek story where someone's being eaten by birds, isn't there?
That sounds right. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Who is it?
Doug are all about Greece.
Are you thinking of Neptune or something?
No, it's not Apollo.
Okay,
it's not Apollo. Isn't there someone? Because they reference it in God of War, where you go into this environment and there's someone being eaten by birds.
Yeah, but now you're saying that.
Yeah.
For eternity? Being eaten by birds for eternity. Yeah, I'm not sure who.
Okay.
But I never made that connection.
Okay. Again, don't know if that's deliberate. It's just the.
Well, this thing. It's kind of throwing stuff at you, isn't it? It's just it's throwing the book of maritime mythology at the screen.
Yeah.
And you can extract from that what you will. Obviously, the aspect ratio and the kind of duochrome presentation reinforce that sense of entrapment.
Duochrome because...
Well, it's black and white, isn't it?
Okay. But monochrome is black and white, though, isn't it?
But it's not, though, is it? Because monochrome, strictly speaking, monochrome literally means one colour.
Well, no, because if it was,
I know that it means black and white.
An empty screen is black. So if the only other colour present is white, then surely you've added one colour, therefore it's monochrome. Right?
If you've added 1 to 1, it's 2.
No, but the colour black is not a colour. It's the absence of
let's
colour.
not get into that. Let's not get into
it literally is. An empty screen is black.
I know,
right?
Let's not get into that, whether black is a colour or not. I'm just not prepared for that level of abstraction.
Right.
I like the fact that he's prepared for that level of abstraction. He's been
after you've just fucking the Lighthouse is a romantic comedy because XYZ, and you're like, I know. You're like, I'm not willing to have a discussion.
Well, it's because neither of us are going to be proven right or wrong, are we?
Well, I know. We have Eddie to be the deciding vote.
I know the black is
I'm not joining that conversation.
Right, listen. Let's solve this once and for all.
You wouldn't fucking say whether bacon or sausage is the heart of a cooked breakfast.
This is like the full English. That's why. This is the full English thing all over again.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Technically, black is the absence of colour.
In the same
way, colloquially, everyone knows black is a fucking colour.
Well, no, because how are you supposed to categorize? It's like with 0, isn't it? 0 isn't a number. It's the absence of a number.
Yes, I know. Yes.
You can't
But colloquially,
you can't have a subcategory of numbers for the absence of numbers because it would just be 0. In the same way that you can't have there's colours and there's blah 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 and the only blah 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 is black.
What's black then?
It's the absence of colour.
What is it though?
It's just the absence of colour.
But what is it?
I've just told you.
But what is it? What is it? What is it? It's something. It's not something.
Yeah.
So what is it?
It's not something.
But it still has to be.
I don't know what you're asking me, Sam.
What is it?
What is it?
What's black?
It's the absence of colour. That laptop.
Yeah.
That looks black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just the absence of colour.
Yeah.
Right. Colloquially.
Because all light. Is it all light gets reflected of black? Yes, because white sucks in all light, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So all light is being reflected off that.
Yeah.
Therefore, there is no light on that laptop.
This isn't a scientific argument.
Okay.
Right? Colloquially,
Yeah.
everyone acknowledges that black is a colour.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Would you agree?
Yes.
Right. That's it.
But they're
colloquially.
They're not wrong in the sense that it's related to colour.
Right, hang on. So if I said what colour, if we weren't having this conversation, and I'd say what colour is this, would you say it is colourless? It is the absence of colour?
No, it's not colourless, because colourless is something else entirely.
Okay. If I said what colour is this, would you say it's the absence of colour?
No, I'd say it's black.
Right. Even though you'd be wrong, because I just asked you what colour it is.
No, but we're using a shorthand there.
But that's what colloquially means! Is this all because you don't know what colloquially means?
No, it's not. I know what colloquially means. But the problem, I don't know what the argument, because your argument, are you agreeing with me that it's not a colour?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Why don't we just have this argument if we're both on the same side?
Because I was saying colloquially and you were saying, yeah, but it's not a colour.
It didn't start that way, right?
All I'm going to say
colloquially was introduced halfway through.
It started by me saying duochrome when you were saying, no, it is monochrome because you're just adding white to the thing.
Yeah.
And then I said, no, yeah, but colloquially, it's two colours. And then you say, no, it's one colour to another thing.
Was that true? Rewind the tape, Eddie. Was that true?
Well, listeners, you'll know.
No, can I just say, I really would love to see him. The only actor that comes to mind is Mahershala Ali. Say that black is not a colour to him, because that would be really funny.
Yeah, you were just an absence.
Because you said the sentence "black is not a colour" at least 10 times in the last.
Yeah, but we all know where you know.
I think we know what the podcast is called now.
Yeah. Jordan, the closet racist.
Well, they are called people of colour. They're called people of colour.
That kind of
they're people of colour. There you go. So black is a colour.
Yeah, but they're not the only people of colour, are they?
No, but when you say people of colour, you think black people.
You have Mexicans, you have Asians, you have people of colour.
But when I say people of colour, you think black people, don't you?
Well, I suppose, but I think that's more just a cultural thing. It's because
I think the kind of people who use that use that phrase "people of colour" mean black people typically.
Okay.
Right.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening now.
Okay.
Well, that's done. Okay, the monochrome / duochrome presentation.
That was amazing.
If you type, I'm going to type monochrome.
For fuck's sake.
Into Google right now. Okay, monochrome.
I'm getting a glass of water.
That is a series of black and white images.
Yes, I know. And if you rewind the tape, you will hear me saying that literally. But you didn't let me finish the point.
Okay.
Obviously, literally speaking, monochrome is one colour. That's what it means. And I was saying colloquially,
yes,
it's two.
But surely colloquially, monochrome is correct, because what I was saying and what not what I'm saying, what Wikipedia is saying, that it only reflects shades of colours and hues. It doesn't reflect actual colours.
Right.
Meaning that it's only reflecting one colour, so you're going to have...
Right, hang on.
You're going to have... If it's
tell me what we're arguing about now. Tell me what we're arguing about.
If it's reflecting hues, it's reflecting, like, intensities of light. It's not reflecting colour.
Right.
So, obviously, the most intense is going to be white, and the less intense is going to be black.
Right.
So, even though it's only reflecting one colour, you're seeing black and white.
Right. What are we arguing about here?
That monochrome is the correct term. You're inventing duochrome.
Yes.
Which is, you're coming from the right place. Your heart's in the right place. I'll give you that.
Oh, right. Thank you. Patronising. Yeah.
But monochrome is a thing, and it's black and white.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know. When I threw out a duochrome, that wasn't me stating we must get rid of monochrome.
Like if you were... Like,
duochrome is the correct... no.
Duochrome would
that was me being playful.
Duochrome would be black and like red
and
or something.
Another colour.
Red
That's
and
what you were
green.
going to say then, wasn't it?
They'd be like
you
red or green.
black and another colour.
Because what do they call it? What's the term for it?
I'm so done with this conversation.
Is it deers? They only see like red, green. Deer.
Idiot.
They have animals like that. They're not duodidactic. That's something else entirely. But we see like red, green, and blue.
Right.
Whereas deers only see like red and blue or red and green or something. And it's duo something because it's two colours.
Right.
If they only saw in black and white, they'd be mono whatever.
Right. What are we arguing?
The monochrome is correct. Duochrome doesn't need to be invented because monochrome serves the function of defining it correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Duochrome was a flippant, playful... it's black and white.
Yes.
Two colours. Duochrome.
Yeah.
That you just completely bulldozed.
Okay.
For no reason when we didn't even disagree.
Well, you're wrong.
What am I wrong about? What am I wrong about? It's like saying, oh, that joke is wrong.
Yeah.
A joke can't be wrong.
Well, you know...
That joke is not literally true.
Yeah.
Well done. God, you know this is why he doesn't get invited to parties, see?
That's so true.
There are many other reasons.
Many other reasons
that I don't get invited to parties.
Fucking hell.
And also, jokes are subjective.
Jokes subjective. Yes. Duochrome was a redundant term. Sorry, world. Fuck's sake.
It's fine. I think out of this one, you're coming out on the right side. He just told people black wasn't a colour.
Well, that's the thing, because like, he's technically correct. That's the only thing. But he's just party pooper, do you know what I mean? It kills all the fun. Anyway, trying to have duochrome fun over here, and he's fucking poking holes in it.
No, this is different now.
Okay.
The person who was eaten by birds is Prometheus.
Is that said in the film?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, is Prometheus invoked in the film?
For his crimes, Prometheus is punished by Zeus, who bound him in chains and sent an eagle to eat Prometheus's immortal liver each day, which grew back every night. So for all eternity, he's being eaten by an eagle.
I don't know whether...
That's a shit life.
I don't know whether I've just seen something recently that included the word Promethean or Prometheus. Is it the Lighthouse? It would make sense, obviously.
It feels appropriate.
But would they be that kind of on the nose about their reference?
Well, I mean, it's not said in that scene, is it?
No.
It would be said earlier in the film, and then it's something that as an audience member, you're supposed to go, oh, I see the connection there.
Yeah, so basically he kills the foe.
Yeah.
And now he's being punished for it, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Eaten by the seagulls that he slaughtered a seagull, and now the seagulls are eating him.
That kind of, because we have a contentious relationship with seagulls, don't we?
Yes.
We're not fans of seagulls. It's the same with cats.
Yeah.
Why are you not fans with seagulls?
Oh, they know something, you know? They know something that we don't. And they mock you. An animal just laughs in your face.
You know the, whatever.
Seagulls, they know something.
Yeah, is it, Morty's Mind Blowers? That episode of Rick and Morty where they reveal that, like, squirrels they run the world? It's seagulls.
I haven't seen Rick
it's not squirrels, it's seagulls. Seagulls are, like, secretly running everything.
Oh, yeah. And they're just, well, I was going to say they're vultures. That doesn't make sense. I got Eraserhead vibes from the Lighthouse.
Yes. But similar, like, approach, but I think you said Eraserhead is industrial, this is nautical.
Yes.
So the subject is different, but it's a similar approach.
Like that sense of claustrophobic tension through the use of a soundscape.
Yeah, and comedy mixed in with the horror.
Unquote.
I mean, it's difficult because like comedy and horror are sort of close bedfellows anyway.
They are indeed.
They're the only two genres where they're like their primary function is to elicit a very specific emotion from you.
Well, also, yes. I mean, horror done badly is instantly comical.
Yes.
It is very...
Though comedy done bad isn't always horrific.
It is, but like not in that way. Yeah. Okay. Yes, and horror, even done well, that kind of is too bizarre or too absurd, it just becomes funny.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a delicate balance. I think a thing operating at its highest level manages to do both well.
Okay.
So yes, The Lighthouse, which I think is funny and kind of horrific.
Yeah.
There's no higher accomplishment that a director can do than
marrying those two comedy. Things. Yeah, absolutely.
The same for me.
And it's sort of being clear which one you're supposed to be feeling at any moment.
Yeah, or not. Like
like when you said that Willem Dafoe farting kind of broke the frame for you slightly.
Yes.
Where you're like, am I supposed to find this funny?
Yeah.
I think that's definitely what the film wants is you to go, how am I supposed to be reacting to this?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And it's okay to
but not in the same way that we're like, how am I supposed to react to cats? Like it's intentional, the like confusion as to how you should feel.
Yeah. It's the same for me with we talked about being fans of films that are like mystery boxes. This is definitely one of those. But it's the same thing with music. For me, music is operating at its highest when it's evincing an emotional response from me, but can also have a sense of humor in its lyrics.
Yeah.
The Smiths, for example, I think they're funny, and I think they're intending to be funny as well. But also, get a proper emotional. Anyway, yeah. So
do you want to throw us an example of the Smiths being funny?
Right, let me think. If a double-decker bus crashes into us, to die by your side would be such a heavenly way to die. That's funny.
Okay, why?
Because God, we're really going deep on this one. Because it marries the sacred and the profane, doesn't it?
Oh, okay.
It's about like, to die by your side. But it says double-decker bus. It's like something so mundane and everyday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it the same double-decker bus you hijacked in your dream?
No, that was a single.
Did you kill the Smiths?
I killed the Smiths.
Oh my god.
Yes, being kind of very kind of grandiose and over romantic is funny. And
well, you said when we were talking about how Stephen Fry like conducts himself at the BAFTAs.
Yes.
Like he's so sycophantic almost, and how so like, you know, oh, you're so great, you're wonderful, you're this and that it becomes almost parody.
Yes. When the leather runs smooth on the passenger seat. That these things, they're so precise that it has that twin effect of endearing you to it emotionally and finding it a bit silly.
Okay.
And that's something operating at its highest level. Yeah, I was never disturbed. You said that the mermaid is the one time you were...
Yeah, I was compelled to look away when she sort of... Because I was also operating on the assumption that, okay, this is going to become a horror film at some point.
Yeah.
This is clearly the moment it's going to become a horror film.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be here when it gets scary.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a disturbing moment, but I think it's the strongest disturbing moment in the film.
Well, it's kind of the closest it gets to a jump, really, isn't it?
That as well.
Yeah.
Yes, because she's moving to the camera, you don't know if she's going to scream at you or whether she's going to, like, become like a monster.
Yeah.
Like she's going to grow, like, teeth and fangs or whatever.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's going to happen. And that's what's scary. Is like, okay, what is she going to do?
It's jarring, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another great achievement, when you can make someone jump purely through visuals and not sound.
Yeah. What was it? When he gets the other wiki out of the water, whether real or not, the image, like the eye and everything.
Yeah.
That's just
I think the other image, and we were talking about, because Kermode alludes to, we bring up Kermode a lot on this.
We do.
Alludes to it.
I think you bring up Kermode a lot.
I bring up Kermode. He's the competition. He alludes to an image, and we can figure out what that was, and it's the image of Defoe when he becomes the lighthouse, and he's kind of shining the light at Pattinson. Remember that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Eyes naked, which is a very like Greek statuesque image, thinking about it, isn't it? I don't think I was creeped out that much because of its ridiculousness.
Okay.
Because I was finding it funny, I could never really get freaked out by it.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. It did resonate in another way, though. So...
You want to be a wiki?
I want to be a wiki. I have a recurring type of dream where, like, I think it's because of my meds, where I feel like I'm trudging through treacle. Like, I can't move as quickly as I want to. I want to get over there, but I can't, like, get there.
That'll be the meds.
Yeah, and I just feel really drunk and like I've lost something. And I don't know who I am, where I am, how much time has passed, when I am. And I think the film does capture that. Do you agree?
Yeah.
There's that thing where Defoe says, have we been here 5 weeks, 2 days? Like, they just have no idea how much time has passed. Robert Eggers said in an interview, he was asked, like, what would you change about it? And he said, I wouldn't lose anything, but it could be 10 minutes shorter. I was like, that's my kind of director.
Yeah.
Because the film's only like hour 49.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just happy that there's room for films like The Lighthouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
The films like that can exist.
And it's nice that, obviously it's not on everyone's radar in the same way that, like, Parasite is on people's radar.
No.
I'm talking pre-Oscars now.
Yeah.
But it is nice that people were saying, like, oh, The Lighthouse should have been the 10th nominee.
Yeah.
That it feels like that was kind of a snub, that The Lighthouse didn't get a Best Picture nod.
Yeah, definitly.
And
I think it's a snub that Defoe didn't get a nod.
That is the biggest snub.
Yeah, that definitely. Yeah. And I've just realised that we're supposed to talk about the cinematography now, because I said we discussed it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so, like, I don't know, like, what the image quality is. I don't know if it's like 4K, 6K, 8K. It's so sharp.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know, it could be down to the performances as well, but, like, when Robert Pattinson is sort of one of the many moments he's complaining about Willem Dafoe to Willem Dafoe, and he says, you just reek of, like, you know, piss and jism, and you can almost smell it, you know?
It's vivid.
It's so vivid, and the image is so sharp, and it's such a, you know, the cinematography itself, as in, like, the shot composition, and it's great. But yeah, there's something so tangible.
Tangible, that's what I was going to use.
It's such a salty tasting film.
Yeah,
you know, you can taste the sea salt.
And you do, even if it's not necessarily disturbing images, there are things that stay with you. The image that I always think of is that shot of him in the water going through the timber to find it. That, like, close-up of him. The lighting, it really looks like an old horror movie.
Yeah, it really does.
Genuine, like, a lot of films try that, where they try and evoke an older, like, 80s horror movie. Or this really does feel like, if I didn't know those actors were contemporary, this could have been made like decades ago.
Yes, and it does it because you have instances where people will do that as kind of almost like a cost-cutting measure. It's like, oh, if we make it look like an older film, we don't have to put as much effort in.
Yeah.
And we can account for our lack of technology. This doesn't feel like that. It feels like a very deliberate stylistic choice.
On 8 and 9K.
8 and 9K, okay. Which I think is maybe higher resolution than old film stock. I think old film stock is like 6K, 35mm now.
Yeah. Well, it was shot on a 35mm.
Yeah.
Well, then they shot using 3 different types of lenses, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He said it was a fucking nightmare because you had to kind of align those 3 different visual styles.
Yeah.
Well, he says that it says here that they used 8 and 9K, but they had to use it throughout the day because natural light just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, so no, this wasn't a shortcut. This was a imposing complication.
Yes,
to get a more kind of, a better film out of it.
Yeah. And a better film we got.
Yes. It's very good. If you're into weird shit, seek it out.
It's up there.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Is that the Lighthouse?
It is.
Okay.
Right, Jord.
Yeah.
Bombshell.
More like shut up. I don't know. Should I try that again? I don't know what to say.
Bomb shit.
Yeah. Bombshell, more like bomb shit.
Bomb shit. I've been sitting on this joke for fucking years. Bombshell is similar to Cats because both are about the exhibition of pussies to ascend. There we go.
Yes.
God, I've been sitting on that one fucking years. Right, Bombshell. Deconstruct it for us, Eddie. What's it about?
I don't even know where to start.
Are we... Spoiler alert, none of us like it.
No.
Are we in the minority?
I don't know.
Okay.
I want to say I don't think so.
We're not in the...
Because it won makeup?
Yes.
At the Oscars?
Makeup and hairstyling.
Margot Robbie was nominated. I think Theron was nominated. You had a couple of nominations at the Oscars.
Yes.
Margot Robbie is the best thing about it.
I would agree.
Yes. But it's Margot Robbie, so it's, it's hardly a compliment of the film. She just is usually the best thing one of the best things in anything she's in.
Yeah, that's true. Bombshell is based on the accounts of several women at Fox News who set out to expose Roger Ailes for sexual harassment.
Have you read that?
Yes, I have. Okay. I've got the Wikipedia article.
Because you don't remember the film, or because you don't want to dedicate brain cells to trying to...
Give you a better thing?
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
Okay.
I'm really bored of the... I'm really bored. Just leave it that.
I was really bored watching it.
I'm really bored of the breaking the fourth wall shtick in films. Of them doing the House of Cards thing.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it before.
It's more of a Big Short thing, though, in this case.
But that's the thing. It's not, because, we had a conversation where we kind of traced it back to that.
Yeah.
But The Wolf of Wall Street predates that.
It does.
And I think maybe that is the thing that re-kickstarted it,
Yeah,
it's not like it's the first time it was ever done.
It kind of works in The Wolf of Wall Street to an extent.
Kind of.
I mean, The Wolf of Wall Street is so long, you kind of need someone to occasionally go, all right, this is where we're at. This is what's happening.
But it feels just like a trick. A screenwriting trick. You can't just have the main character fucking explain the things at you.
Yeah.
You need to do that in the drama, Do
they do that once the film gets going, or is that just an exercise in exposition at the beginning?
It's an exercise in exposition, isn't it? And then it just kind of stops, I think, as far as I remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Because I don't know whether that's better or worse, because on the... Well,
the Big Short, very quick, it makes sense because the whole kind of sort of point of that film is trying to explain an incredibly difficult concept. And so it sort of makes sense that they tie in Margot Robbie, because she's in The Big Short, isn't she?
Yes.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, doing things like that, the joke is, this will get your attention. And now we can explain it to you because we're giving you this.
Yes.
That makes sense to me. It's sort of like a condescending, like, we'll make it like children's TV where they just like explain it to you.
Yeah.
I get that. It works. It's sort of a joke in a way. Otherwise...
I was going to say, I don't know whether it's better or worse, because on the one hand, that's not a gimmick the film sticks with. So it's not like every 10 minutes you're like, oh, great, I got to, ram out of the film again.
Yeah.
More than I was already.
Yeah.
But also, if you're going to employ like a non-diegetic tool, I suppose, in your script, you should kind of stick with it. It's like an action film, isn't it? When there's voiceover from the main character at the beginning and the end, and then the rest of the film, there's nothing like that.
Yeah, if you're going to have such a kind of dimension-shattering format, stick to it.
Yeah. And it's also, it doesn't push it as far as like Wolf of Wall Street or The Big Short, because doesn't Margot Robbie play herself in The Big Short?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we've completely left the reality of this film now.
Yeah, we're just going to have her in a bathtub explaining it to you.
This just has no place in anything else we're doing.
Yeah.
Whereas with The Big Short, it's like, oh no, we're still the characters and we're still in the locations and in the scene.
In Bombshell.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We're still in the reality of the film. We're just talking to you.
Yes.
It's a bit like, well, you know, if you're not even going to push it that far, then surely you could have just written it better and just reveal all of this stuff through the story, you know?
Yeah, Spotlight.
Yeah, exactly.
How much easier would it have been for the screenwriters to, thank fuck, we can just have Mark Ruffalo explain the background to you by looking at the camera and...
Yes.
Yeah, anyone can fucking do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked it as much there.
No, exactly. But like that's what the news is.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch the news. I want to watch a film.
Yeah.
I don't really want to watch a film about Fox News, to be honest.
Well, I'd happily watch a film about Fox News, but this is one of the big problems with it, isn't it? Are these the people to make a film about Fox News?
This film clearly hates Fox News.
Which is fine. Like, that's their position. But you can't... I don't know. I'm not saying the film about Fox News should have been made by conservatives. That would have been another problem.
Yeah.
But there's not enough impartiality.
No. I mean, okay, should this film hate Fox News?
No, the film should hate Roger Ailes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if the film isn't ragging on Roger Ailes and how terrible he is, it's it's poking at Fox News. You have like what's her face? She was in Ghostbusters with
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon. Yeah. You have her character who's like she's Democratic and she's a lesbian, but she works at Fox News because nowhere else will take you if you go to Fox News. It's a prison.
That's the irritating thing. It's like you have to at least credit a lot of the people who work there with the fact that they want to work there. They might be conservatives. That's why they want to work at Fox News.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the case, and I'm sure there are people who work there that would like to move and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it can't extend any generosity towards it at all.
No.
It obviously wants to be a female empowerment story.
Yeah.
And to do that, it has to distance those women from the fact they work at Fox News and says, oh, but no one really wants... If you're good in this film, you don't really want to work at Fox News.
Yeah.
It's a compromise.
You're just kind of trapped.
Yeah. And it's just nonsense.
They contradict at the end of the film, because when Megyn Kelly is ringing up people to be like, hey, do you know anything about this Roger Ailes nonsense? Or this Roger Ailes business, I should say. Because are we all in agreement that it probably happened?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I don't think... Because it is still speculative, I think.
Oh, no, I don't...
No, not speculative, but the film is like... The film has said it's about the accusations as opposed to it's about what he did.
Yeah. I don't deny... I'm fully willing to...
I believe it as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when she rings up one of the anchors who worked at Fox News and it comes up on screen saying that she's an anchor for CNN. So you can leave Fox News then.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Totally contradicts itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think not only... Yeah, is the film clearly made by people who hate Fox News, it's also just... There's not enough time has passed.
That as well. I mean, how recently did he die?
He died 2017.
Because I think they announced pretty soon after he died that they were going to do this.
They would have jumped on it.
Yeah.
He's dead. Right. You can't libel the dead.
Yeah.
We'll get on it, you know? It doesn't have the detachment, either temporally or ideologically, to earn itself the credentials of, being the people to make the film.
This ties back slightly to the point we made, the point I made in Marriage Story, where, when you have a film that's all screenplay and people in rooms, why is it not a theatre piece?
Right.
If this film was just to kind of shed light on the event, why was it not a documentary? Why did it have to be a fiction film?
A documentary would have been better.
Genuinely, the best parts of the film, the parts of the film that kind of engaged me the most were the moments where it kind of became a documentary. There's that moment where they have the accounts of the 6, I think it was the first 6 women to come forward. And it just has their picture and like audio of them explaining what he did to them.
Yeah.
And that's straight out of a documentary. Yeah. And that's the one moment of the film where I was kind of like, okay, I see the value of this.
Yes.
In terms of just a piece of fiction. I don't feel like it does a great job of...
I can only surmise the part of that is that if they made a documentary that requires genuine objectivity, they can never hide behind, but this bit was an artistic contrivance, or this bit was, we would take an artistic license.
Yes.
Which they can do with this. They say, we're not saying this is literally what happened,
but I don't see why, to me it did feel like, we'll make it a piece of fiction because people will see that instead of a documentary, and also it'll get a chance at awards nods.
Yes.
You can't nominate Charlize Theron for Best Actress if she's in a documentary.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously she plays Megyn Kelly. Nicole Kidman plays...
her name is Gretchen Carlson. Margot Robbie, I think, is a fiction, but like, a facsimile of loads of different people.
Stupid name?
This is the annoying
Kayla Pospisil.
Pospisil. If you're gonna make up a character, don't call it Kale Pospisil.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Pospisil.
I will say, I'm just because again, I've got the article up. Even Megyn Kelly has criticisms of it.
Yeah, of course she does. Yeah.
Well, isn't her criticism that the film is too kind to Roger Ailes?
Yes.
Yeah.
But because she uploaded like a 30-minute YouTube video.
It's like a roundtable discussion of her with all of the
her with like
her
with a bunch of people, and they obviously had criticisms, and the main criticism was that they let him off too easily.
That's interesting because one of my criticisms of the film, obviously, I have no idea what went down, how it went down, that sort of thing. It's the presentation of Roger Ailes as a pantomime villain. I'm no doubt that he's a fucking wretched scumbag.
Yeah.
But the way he comes across, this is all predicated on I don't know, but, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but, like, obviously the makeup just makes him look like Jabba the Hutt.
Yes.
Which Roger Ailes, he's a rotund chap.
Yes, he was.
Saggy rotund, but still. And just John Lithgow plays him with this, like, heavy breathing, like, lift up your skirt.
Yeah.
And it just feels like real abuse of power and sexual harassment. I don't know. Again, I'll check my privilege. It feels like it would be more insidious than that.
Yeah, I think it's more that we're kind of looking at it from the perspective of people who watch films.
Yeah.
You know, my mum works in mental health, and she saw Joker, and I kind of asked her about the film because I was curious to see if the film held up better when you're looking at it from that perspective,
right?
As the perspective of someone who watches films.
Yeah.
Because as people who watch films, we see Joaquin Phoenix dancing, and we go, "Oh, that's just a cheap, weird way of making it look like he's crazy."
It's crazy, man.
To which Mum, she said, "Well, it's a possibility. Like like conditions like this manifest in different ways. People have like different tics that kind of express it.
Yeah.
And maybe for him, that was one of his tics, was kind of dancing.
Not the fridge, though.
Not the fridge. No, the fridge is just
No, but Joaquin Phoenix did come up with it on set.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I think we said in the discussion, wasn't it, that a lot of like the interesting parts of that character were probably Joaquin Phoenix riffing than Todd Phillips' directing or whatever came from the script.
And yet somehow he got an Oscar nomination for direct.
Yeah, well, he didn't win. That's the main thing.
Oh God, no!
I don't feel like Bong Joon-ho had to thank him or whatever he said to him in his speech. Like the other three, fair enough, but Todd Phillips, you can just kind of go, and also Todd Phillips, and then carry on. But so like in terms of Roger Ailes, we're looking at the perspective from people who watch films, and we see a film that is trying way too hard to make this guy seem like both intimidating in the sense that he's like the famous scene with Margot Robbie where she's in the room and she does the twirl, the famous twirl, which I think in that roundtable discussion
they all confirm that's
exactly what happens.
I buy that.
Yeah, and then Roger Ailes was kind of like, lift up your skirt, and then she has to keep going higher and higher and higher. We see that and we go, okay, the film is trying to make him seem intimidating. Yeah. But then also like he's got like a Zimmer frame and he can barely move, so it's also trying to make him seem pathetic.
Well, he's totally irredeemable. The film has no kindness towards him. I'm not saying it should.
No, but that's the thing. Like
nothing.
Yeah, and I'm sure as someone who had to go through the experience of being abused by Roger Ailes, you want the film to paint him as as insidious as possible.
Yeah.
But as people on the outside, and as people who do believe that this happened, we see this depiction of Roger Ailes going, I don't buy that.
We also see it through the prism of people who are never subject to any kind of sexual harassment.
There is that as well. But then again...
if only someone would sexually harass me.
Yeah. I speak for yourself, thank you very much.
But also, you said about it not seeing realistic, that kind of sexual abuse. There's a moment in the film where there's like a guy and a woman in like they're having like a luncheon meeting. It's the two of them going to lunch, and he gives her like this prestigious job. And she's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And he's like, and then he starts to kind of imply like, "Oh, I was just like, because you got this job, I thought you find a way of showing your gratitude or something like that." And then she starts to realize. Well, she's smiling, but then you kind of hear her in a monologue where she clocks what's happening, and then she's like, "Okay, just play dumb." And she's going, "Oh, what do you mean by that?" And he's like, "Oh, I'd really like to see your hotel room." She's like, "Do you not?" Whatever she says in response to that. That feels better.
That feels how reality works.
Yeah. And it's nice seeing it from the woman's perspective as well, because you're like, okay, I can understand the mechanics of this situation unfolding.
Yeah.
Because she just keeps like pretending not to know what's happening. So eventually the guy kind of gives up and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, there's been like a huge misunderstanding."
Yeah.
Yes. Well, yes, I imagine in this line of like that sort of thing. There are very few people that just turn around to a woman and go, "Yeah,
I'm going to sexually abuse you now.
I want you to suck my dick."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gonna do it whether you
I'm
like it
sure
or not.
there are examples of that, but yeah, it just feels like even if you're the kind of person that would do something like that, you would still kind of be a bit reluctant about it.
Yeah,
you know?
And I suppose in defense of Bombshell, there's never a moment where Roger Ailes goes, "Okay, now suck my dick."
No,
like the Margot Robbie, like having to show her underwear to him. That's kind of the most explicit the film ever gets.
Yeah. Let me be completely inappropriate then.
Okay, go on. I already know what you're going to say, but yeah, go on.
If you're going to have that scene in the film and you want us to get on side, choose a fuck ugly actress because I want to see Margot Robbie's underwear. I'm with Roger Ailes. Yeah, that's right, Margot. Twirl.
Well, we've already seen her body in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true, but it's not like I never want to see it again.
No, even Leonardo DiCaprio could only last 10 seconds.
Yeah,
it's true.
And in fairness, I would rather see her body in the context of when we see it in Wolf of Wall Street than in Bombshell.
Oh yeah, I don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But choose Nicole Kidman or something.
Okay. Yeah. She fucking irritated me in this film.
She is irritating, yeah.
Based on Megyn Kelly's... Well, I did it again. But based on Charlize Theron's portrayal of Megyn Kelly, she seems to really be trying to make it true to the real Megyn Kelly. Like, they've made her kind of look like her.
Yeah.
And she's, like, clearly doing an impression of her.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the way I felt about Nicole Kidman is a function of the real-life person or Nicole Kidman's performance.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not that familiar. I've seen a lot more Megyn Kelly than Gretchen Carlson.
I didn't even know who Gretchen Carlson was. Okay. So yeah, I've no frame of reference for that actor, that person.
The Charlize Theron thing was a problem for me.
Okay.
The way they tried to make her look like Megyn Kelly. She never looked like Megyn Kelly, like, really.
It's like they got so far and then stopped.
It looks like a mutant hybrid of Charlize Theron and Megyn Kelly. And I could never get over it. Every time she was on screen, I never adjusted, like Cats, I never adjusted to the way...
I think I would have been okay had they not spliced her into existing footage with Trump.
Yeah.
You know, famous things that everyone has seen, like the Hillary-Trump debate.
Yes.
I think it's the same debate where he goes, "You should be in jail."
Yeah.
To Hillary. And then, like, the interview she conducted with him later on, where they're, like, in a room. If I hadn't seen that, where, okay, this is clearly supposed to be Megyn Kelly. I've seen Megyn Kelly in this exact situation.
Yeah.
I might have been able to buy it a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think that was the film being overly confident. It's like, oh, she's clearly Megyn Kelly.
Yeah.
So we can just replace her outright.
Yeah,
you know? But it's better than what they did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where they actually show Sharon Tate when the film's playing in the theatre.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shite. I'm not going to say anything nice about this film other than Margot Robbie's decent in it.
Yeah.
But being the best thing in a bad film, which is, ooh, me too, and just fuck off.
I agree.
Yeah. It's Kate McKinnon.
I'm so annoyed that she's in it.
Of course she's in it.
Yeah, but that's me. Talk about not being detached. You put Kate McKinnon in that film.
Yeah.
How are you supposed to get like an objective reporting of what happened?
But I mean, we've already said that her whole thing about, if you work at Fox, that's the end of your career, and then you have the CNN ex-Fox news anchor, which is kind of a contradiction.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, her function in the film, Kate McKinnon now, seems to just be like Margot Robbie's in trouble and she's struggling and she's like becoming a victim, and Kate McKinnon's role just seems to be like, oh, I really want to help you, but I can't.
Yeah, she's supposed to represent all the people that kind of don't speak up.
Yeah. But I think that just makes her thoroughly unlikable.
It does. Yeah,
it's like, oh, you're just not going to help her.
Yeah,
you just like, oh, you care enough about her to sleep with her, but you don't care enough to help her. You know,
she wanted a bit of vag. That was all she needed.
Yeah,
we've sort of had this conversation, I think, about something else, but it's that thing of, I get, maybe it's because we're men.
Yeah,
but I can't imagine this whole idea of systemic silence, like good Germans. I don't get how these women just don't come out instantly.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're going to lose, you're going to get more prestige, you're going to be heralded as brave, and I can a whistleblower, you know?
Buy the idea that being in a situation like that where you want to speak up, you know it's the right thing to do, but you can't because of the system that's sort of bearing down, or the company that's like bearing down on you. I can buy that. But this film does nothing to make you feel like Fox is like the enemy.
No.
It just tells you that Fox is the enemy.
Yes.
You needed something like in Spotlight where you have like the churches in the background of all the shots.
Yeah,
you needed some kind... It's a film. Use the language of film,
visual
language of film to show how like oppressive Fox is.
Yeah.
If that's the angle you're going at, don't just have characters go, "Oh, I can't help you," because Fox.
Yes.
But show us that you can't help us.
Yeah.
You know.
It's just pure Oscar bait.
And I don't think
it is pure.
I don't think that photograph that Kate McKinnon has of like a friend. I don't even think it's her lover. It's just a friend. It's two women in a photograph, and Margot Robbie like puts it back in the drawer, and she's like, "Oh, you don't want people to see that."
Mm.
And then as things are getting better, she sort of gets it out for Kate McKinnon, and Kate McKinnon just puts it back in the drawer. Like, no, you're right. I can't.
Yeah.
We can't say these things at Fox.
Yeah.
I don't think that's good enough.
No, not at all. And you're right. It is Oscar bait. Oscar bait used to be films about slaves, and now it's about people who show some clip for promotion. That's what Oscar bait is now, isn't it? Anything that's vaguely Me Too, or that paints a historical man as a demon.
I don't understand how people don't see the utter cynicism, because you're right.
Yeah.
Now that Me Too is in vogue, we all of a sudden we don't really seem to care about slavery anymore. Like Oscar films, like it's not slavery is the thing that we need to push, and all that seems to have died away.
Yeah.
Were there any films this year nominated that were about slavery?
Harriet.
Yeah.
But that got like nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, that's it really.
Yeah. How do people not look at that? Like they're complaining about like, oh, we don't have enough of a diverse range of like people being nominated. But how can they look at that and not see the cynicism of it all?
There's studio movies pandering to the lowest common denominator, and then there's this pandering to the zeitgeist and the bubble.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
5 years from now, when Me Too is not in vogue, something else is in vogue.
Yeah.
There aren't going to be any Me Too films nominated.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah.
So I genuinely beggars belief.
Still not getting a nomination.
Well, still not. Sorry.
I said Greta Gerwig's still not getting a nomination.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. Do you think they're gonna just? Because of the backlash this year, whatever she makes next, she's going to get a nod. No. Even if it's worthy. Not worthy, I should say. If it's worthy, then it should be nominated.
Yeah.
They'll probably nominate a female.
She was nominated for Lady Bird. Yeah. This is the thing. It's not like she keeps getting snubbed.
Yeah, and that was
didn't this year.
That was her debut
outing
as well. So that was like, oh shit, a debut female director. Fair play. Yeah.
I think it was her debut.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. She'd written things before, but yeah. Directorial debut.
Okay.
I have nothing nice to say about this film.
Really, don't watch it. If you
want to know more about this incident, go and look up the articles and like what they've actually published, like Megyn Kelly's.
It's not a good resource for explaining the situation.
No.
When the people it's based on are criticising the film the most, to the extent of putting up a 30-minute fucking YouTube video, bun it off.
Well, to be fair, like most films about historical figures, there are always people who complain that wasn't how it really happened.
Green Book being a good example.
Yeah. I guess that was seen as kind of whitewashing, for lack of a better term, like the nature of their relationship.
Right, okay.
Because it was apparently fractious in real life, but it's presented as really friendly in the film. But yeah, obviously they were complaining that Roger Ailes wasn't depicted badly enough. I don't know, but he's presented pretty badly.
Yeah.
To the point where we are skeptical about no one's that villainous.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, no, don't watch it. It's just like a cobbled together, quickly made thing.
Yeah.
It's not visually interesting. Yeah, it's not written particularly interestingly. It's got a good title. That's it. Double meaning. That's it. That's it. That's all it's got going for it.
Yeah.
Got a good title. As I've said it enough times. Margot Robbie's good in it.
Yeah.
But she don't suck a dick. So
yeah. So
technically, it's not even worth watching.
I mean, technically, the character I think does suck. a dick,
did she suck a dick or did she have sex with him? Is the implication supposed to be that they had sex?
Yeah, they had sex.
I see. Okay.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Can he?
I'll say no. Just fair play to John Lithgow.
Fair play to Roger Ailes.
Based on his depiction, like he's got a Zimmer frame and he's constantly taking pills. I don't know, and the film doesn't do this.
Were they blue?
I don't know. I didn't see. I don't know. I thought, like I said, the film doesn't imply it, but I took it to mean like the reason that he's asking these women to expose themselves to him is because he can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
like he's kind of impotent,
Well,
he's trying to get a vicarious thrill.
He makes them climb on top.
Yeah, but it's all about vicarious thrill because he can't do that anymore. As I say, that's not something the film does. That's just something I took from it.
Right. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it can't possibly have been true. He couldn't get it up.
Well, no, because Margot Robbie slept with him.
Yeah.
So he can obviously get it up.
Okay.
Right?
I suppose.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
Basically.
But yeah, that is our review of Bombshell.
I think that's everything.
I think that is everything that
we finally caught up.
We finally caught up.
Yeah.
Yes, we can now talk about Birds of Prey or whatever the fuck shit film is coming out.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog. That's probably going to be next, actually.
That's next episode. Tune in for a review of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Alright, that's it then.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Parasite. Yay! Woo! Bye.
Bye.